Oh, yeah, Alice in Chains, No Excuses. We send that one out to J. Mason Ocala, it looks like, on Twitter. He requested that song this morning to get us started, so thank you for that request. Good morning, Jim Norton.
Hello. Just signing these papers. All right.
Signing papers. Looks like you're signing autographs for people.
I am. They're meet and greet things that were, for the first one, that weren't done, so I'm getting all these nice personalized things signed.
For the fans?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I felt bad. It was a little disorganized. But now it's all good. Everything's together.
Everything's together. Everything's in order. Everything's all right.
Everything's in shape.
This Brussels airport and metro station terrorist attack is breaking as we start our radio show today.
Yeah, I heard
went down a couple hours ago.
I was on Twitter looking at something about Brussels. I'm like, what, did they arrest that guy? Like, I had no idea this happened to you. So
it's just deeply depressing to wake up to this stuff over and over and over again. It seems like we're just going to have more and more of this. And no one has the answer.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is religious-based. I mean, you can't fight that.
Right. I read one tweet because I saw this trending, so I popped on the hashtag and checked it out a little bit, and one guy's like, "Can't we nuke Syria already and call it a day?"
Was that Trump?
You think it's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe that'll make you feel better, but I don't think that's going to solve the issue at hand here.
It probably wouldn't help, yeah.
I think that's going to piss off so many more people.
Yeah, it would probably bother the world.
I think that would bother a lot of people, and then this would ramp up even more.
Yeah. Because then we'd wind up taking the refugees of all the people, like all the people that were fucked up and dead, all their relatives, we would wind up taking, and they would just hate us. It's a no-win. Right. You can't nuke them.
And then someone from Canada, we took in 25,000 refugees.
That's great.
So this shit's going to happen to us now.
Oh, he's pissed off. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course.
He's bragging.
Yeah, people don't know what to do with the refugees.
The Canadians like to brag about their niceness. Are we taking them in? I don't even know if we are.
That's, oh boy.
You don't know. Okay, that's fine. You know what the worst is?
I don't know. I would assume we are taking in some.
It's funny what you just did, too, because we all do it. So when someone asks you for information, and I always want to have the information.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I quickly go, all right, did I see this on a news channel? Because that's what a lot of us do, too. You watch a little news, and then you feel like you're an expert on this thing.
Yeah, how come we can't go past the speed light? Fast.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, what did I hear him say once?
I don't have the answer. Sometimes you don't. I never want to say I don't have the answer.
You don't want to do that ever, right?
So this is the guy that got arrested. Colin said he looks like Dov Davidoff, which he really does.
Wow, he does. Where's Dov these days?
He's around. He's actually been shooting, I think he's been shooting for Louis like the last week or two, so I've been seeing him at the cellar a lot.
Nice. Dov is he's a good man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
So yeah, they got him over the weekend, and now we got this happening today.
So this was part of his. These were his people.
I would assume there's some connection there. Whether this was something he was involved with and obviously couldn't be part of, or I don't know. I don't know how this shit works, but they're saying it was well organized. This one was well organized.
Did the guys kill themselves or just other people? Suicide bombers?
I don't know that either.
It's amazing how many suicidal people there are in that religion.
It's unbelievable.
How many suicidal people are they just walking around?
You can't find You can't find a friend to move a couch for you, but God, in this religion, you can find a ton of people to blow themselves up.
We need 20 guys who want to blow themselves up and kill some minutes. Jesus, 20, only 20.
Right, everyone just raises their hand. We only need 20.
Man, you promised people some good stuff at the end.
Come on. That's ridiculous.
That's just... It's a little silly. Where did they do it in the airport? It was before the security, or?
Because
I always wonder why terrorists don't attack I'm glad they don't, but why they're only attacking the planes and not before security lines and stuff.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I woke up, I turned on my phone, I saw this was trending, and I'm just getting the info as we sit here. It's on all three channels right now. Eyewitness speaks out about Metro attack, terror alert raised to maximum level, of course, and explosions at Brussels airport and Metro. And that's all I know right now.
Oh, wait, is the Metro a separate place?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Why Brussels? What the fuck does Brussels do wrong?
Brussels sprouts.
I was tired of that piss smell. Oh no, it was. I almost bombed. You know where I was going? I was going to say piss smelling like asparagus. Yeah,
but I bet you if you eat a lot of Brussels sprouts, your piss also smells.
No, I do eat a lot of Brussels sprouts.
You eat Brussels sprouts?
I eat them steamed. I'll go on a date and I'll eat fucking steamed Brussels sprouts. They're fucking awful.
That's horrendous.
Yeah, they're not good.
That's a horrendous date.
It's like taking a vegetable and just mushing it into a ball and eating it and removing all the flavor and sauce.
Yeah, why would you do that to yourself?
I just,
I think I've had them when they're a little crispy, and they still suck.
They're good with bacon.
No, they stink.
They're healthy.
I think we just ran out of stuff to eat, and then they went, what about these Brussels sprouts?
I'm trying to make myself eat spinach, but I can't. I hate it.
Put it in a juice.
Yeah, I can drink it, but I can't eat it.
That's like what I do.
So wait, they killed how many in the airport and how many in the train station?
It was 13 when I was coming in, but then at the last minute they said it could be as high as 23. 23 dead. Oh, now they're saying 15 on MSNBC, so that number is rising.
What did Brussels do that's so bad? I don't understand.
I don't know. Is there any sense of this?
The main fugitive.
Well, I know why they don't like us. I mean, I'm not saying they're right, but I understand. I got what the fuck did Brussels do?
What, Paul?
The main fugitive of the Paris attacks, Salam, however you pronounce his last name, was arrested in Brussels.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know that.
So they're probably attacking because they have him.
Oh, you think that was no, because they're saying it was well organized. They're starting to think that this was planned before they got that guy.
Yeah, he told investigators that he'd already made a new crew and they had access to weapons and everything.
Why is Travis laughing?
Because I just like Paul's theory that they're attacking because they arrested the man.
They arrested the man. I heard
that might have sped it up a little bit.
I heard they're not happy.
They have, or they may have gotten him just in time.
Yeah, I heard they're not happy with the man because he didn't blow himself up. And that's a no-no in the ISIS world. You can't go back to ISIS and go, well, I'm back. And they're like, well, why are you back here? You were supposed to fucking blow yourself up.
Oh, is that why you can't go back?
Supposedly. I heard some of that over the weekend. So I'm sure there's all sorts of connections. The phones are ringing. We could just, maybe they could fill in the blanks for us.
I hope so. I mean, which should be everything, because we know, here's what we know. Brussels.
Well,
And it says on the news.
Many dead, many injured. I could go with that one.
Yeah.
Terror in Brussels, Belgian PM. Many dead, many injured. So that's safe to say.
Yes, it is.
Let's, now that call's on hold.
Isn't it weird how that happens? It doesn't even shake you anymore. Like, it's just, you're so used to it. Like, a terror attack. It's like a mass shooting.
Yeah.
It's like they just happen and they suck. And it's like reading about a car accident or watching a news report about a guy getting arrested for fighting.
We're kind of getting numb to it.
Just numb to it.
Until it goes to, where they get, I don't know, bigger bombs and stuff, then we're not going to be used to that whatsoever.
Well, the mass shootings here are the ones that we're kind of used to.
Right.
The terror attacks would still rock things, but the mass shootings are kind of the ones that we've got down to a pattern now.
Sure. Jay in California, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, guys, I've been listening to CNN for the last couple hours when this first happened, and they said that one of the bombs for sure inside the departure area was a suicide bomber.
All right. And you're getting that from CNN. So you're doing what we're doing.
CNN.
So how the fuck, what kind of security do they have?
You know what? It was, when you go first into the departure area?
Yeah.
It was before the security.
Oh, okay.
And they were going into departure, and there was a couple of gunshots, and then one bomb exploded, then the second one was a suicide bomber, from what I understand.
Man, remember the days you would walk right up to your gate to say goodbye to your loved ones?
I remember.
How many years ago was that now, you think?
It's before 9/11. I mean, I remember meeting my parents at the gate. It was so weird. I picked up at the airport one time. I just went and met them at the gate.
As they're getting off the plane, deplaning.
Yeah, you went and smoked right outside, then came back.
Were they upping security a little bit before 9/11?
I don't remember.
I feel like maybe they were, and then they really clamped down, as we say.
Yeah, some man looked at my penis in the Newark airport bathroom.
Ooh.
I remember, I'll never forget, he had a beard.
Really?
It was weird.
You get a lot of people looking at your penis.
I pissed a lot.
Because you had the one in, where was the other one?
The Parkway restroom.
You had another one in a restroom.
Told me it was a pretty one.
Oh, I thought that was in a sauna.
No, that was the guy in L.A.
I can't keep track of all
the creepy guy in L.A.
Yeah.
with the bluest eyes I've ever seen. He fucking got, there was two jacuzzis.
Yeah.
And, I got into the one, and then he walks in and he's like, and there's two, and he gets into mine. I'm like, oh. So I stayed for like 5 minutes, and then he was sitting, and I felt his toe touch my toe under the water.
He reached for your toe
Just
under
let
the
it
water?
casually bump, and then I got out, and I couldn't figure a way to get out where he wouldn't have my ass just glistening in his face, but there was no way. But I ran right out of there.
How did you hide your heart on when you were leaving the jacuzzi?
Above the suds. It's really annoying though. It's like when that happens to you. I think I told you this. Like when I was in our gym, and that fucking guy would always look at me, that creepy guy.
That's on his phone constantly?
Yeah.
The one that sits in that chair?
Yeah.
As you're walking in and out of I know the guy.
Absolutely, yes.
I know the guy.
And it's like really violating. And man, I'm like, do we make women feel that way? Like it's fucking, there's times I want to go, what are you looking at, you faggot? And I'm like, why would I think that?
Yeah.
Get so mad. That's my reaction.
No, he's definitely looking though. It's pretty obvious.
But it was such a violating feeling. Like I got so fucking angry I wanted to lash out at this guy, which was stupid. I mean,
just give the guy a peek.
No,
give him a little thrill.
Dude, I literally wait till he turns like away and he can't catch a look before I'm like a fucking an assault victim. I'm behind my towel changing. What's wrong with me? But a visceral anger I get towards this guy.
So the Newark airport one. Let's go back to that. I've never heard that story.
There's really no story. I was the late 90s. I was just going to pick my...
No partitions?
No.
There was a time, kids, that you would piss right next to somebody and no partitions.
Yeah.
Nothing blocking the person from taking a peek.
Yeah. I remember going out and smoking and coming back in, and then I forget where they were coming from. Maybe Florida?
Yeah.
My parents didn't vacation much. So for me to go pick them up from the airport...
That was rare.
I was probably 21.
Right.
20.
You don't remember where they went?
No, man, I don't. It might have been to see my Aunt Kay in Massachusetts. No, they would have drove there. Huh. I don't know.
But the guy just took a peek and that was it?
Yeah, he's some weird guy with a beard just looking. I only remember that because you said...
Right.
I remember I had to walk in and meet my parents after that. It was just like fucking like... Ugh.
Yeah, you would walk right to the gates. No. Trump is tweeting. He just tweeted this. Do you all remember how beautiful and safe a place Brussels was? Not anymore. It is from a different world. U.S. must be vigilant and smart. So that's Mr. Trump this morning, only a few minutes ago.
See, there's a line between what he says, which I'm sure he means, and thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're the U.S. president, you got to tweet something better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that that's terrible, and I don't want some fake, my heart goes out.
Sure.
But I don't know, just something more than, you remember how great it used to be? Well, it's not now.
Right.
All right, that's not helpful.
No, that's not at all. Did you see Obama in Cuba?
I did. I loved. I didn't see the him raising. Oh my God!
Yeah, you didn't see that.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
We'll tweet that out.
Oh, it was only a half a second.
Yeah, Raul was holding up Obama's hand, and it was very awkward.
It just dropped for a second.
Obama's just getting a kick out of the old man. I watched some of that, and I learned that Raul, he doesn't take questions at his press conferences.
Oh,
there's always if they do ask questions, it's more like, Raul, how are you feeling? It's very, just basic. And yesterday he took a few questions, and they were asking him about the prisoners, the political prisoners, and Raul's basically saying, give me a list. Give me a list.
Like you didn't have one before the press conference?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Give me a list. So I guess we're going to give him a nice list of people that are being held that should not be held anymore.
And that woman like Joanne Chesimard, there's some other people down there who have taken, who went to Cuba to get out of prosecution here.
Yeah.
That's an issue for people.
Sure.
So I don't know how many others. I know she's just a famous cop killer. So hopefully some people will be sent back and put in jail.
Well, I would assume they're going to try to figure out some of these things. There's a lot of differences between the two countries.
Well, I don't think we should care about the government. Let's stop pretending we give a fuck about how people treat their citizens. Can we stop that? China stinks. Saudi Arabia stinks. It's not our business.
Well, Raul took a little shot at us.
Good for him.
He pretty much didn't understand how there's no universal health care for Americans in general.
Well, don't they have like a lung cancer cure, or is that a myth?
I don't know. That was we had that story on our show a couple months ago.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
Supposedly they've made some waves, I should say.
Had lung cancer vaccine for years, and now we're going to get it good.
Isn't that weird? They just had that? Cuba had a lung cancer vaccine for years, and now it's coming to the U.S. Huh.
Simivax, CIMAVAX. It's both a treatment and vaccine for lung cancer. It's been researched for 25 years and free to the Cuban public since 2011.
Free? It's not going to be free for Americans.
They're going to bring it to the U.S., but with all international drugs and treatments, U.S. researchers need to conduct clinical trials and replicate international scientists' results. Okay. I guess it's easy to knock the government, but they do want to make sure that the medicine works.
Yeah, but if you got lung cancer, wouldn't you just say, fuck it, just give me the medicine?
Well, I'm sure that those are some of the people they're conducting the tests on.
Yeah.
They're probably doing experiments on people that have lung cancer.
Yeah, right. But, I mean, you would definitely take that chance.
Yeah.
You're not going to be waiting around to make sure the drug is completely safe.
Isn't it weird they have fucking old cars, but no lung cancer? You know what I mean? Their cars are all shitty, but they're living to be 90 because they don't have cancer.
Yeah, the emissions coming out of those old cars. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to, but I learned that everyone, the people that love collecting cars, they love Cuba because all those cars are in great shape down there. But I learned that the citizens of Cuba, they just want brand new cars.
Of course they do.
They don't look at it like we do, like it's some romantic thing to have one of these old cars in great shape. They're like, fuck that. We want brand new cars. You can have our old cars.
It's pretty. How do they not get them from Canada or other places? Guys like Leno are probably going to charter a jet and go down there
and just pick up as many as they can.
Dude, the amount of car. Don't they have anything new from Japan? What the fuck?
I would assume there's some brand new cars in there. Just maybe not. Certainly not a lot. But I bet you a few get through.
And a lot of people are like, oh man, the Americans are going to ruin it. Hey, look, if you're going to bring money, they're going to be very happy.
I don't know.
With some money coming into the island.
People are very...
Those are pretty cool cars. God damn.
People aren't really sure what this means yet. If the money will trickle down to the citizens or not.
Yeah, tourism. Well, sure.
Certainly there'll be better jobs for people.
And you can use credit cards when you go down there.
Right.
Because it's cash only. But I'm going to go with Jonathan. I texted him, I'm like, let's go to Cuba. He's like, when? Like, he's ready to go in a second. I got to make sure I'm off for the weekend.
Just find a fucking weekend and go.
Yeah, I'll go
a long weekend.
Thursday, yeah.
Because he knows his way around down there, too.
Yes, he does. But I don't know if you can use credit cards yet if the infrastructure is built up.
And go now before they,
I want to.
Before they build the W hotel and all that shit.
What about bed bugs? Wait. MasterCard gave the okay for credit card use in Cuba come March 1st. Oh, thank you. I'm going to slap down my MasterCard.
And it says that American travelers will be able to slap down their MasterCards in Cuba and use plastic to pay for their hotel or mojitos. All right, let's say hi to Frank in the Bronx.
Oh, Frank was better.
What's up, Frank?
What's up, boys? How are you?
Hi, Frank.
Just warming up, getting started here.
I got a couple of things. Thanks to that motherfucking cocksucker Chip. I'm in a meeting and I said 3 times to my boss, what else? What else? He goes, how did we do? Did we get the call? How did the marketing campaign? I go, what else?
What else?
Excuse me?
It's very addicting, isn't it? Ruining your life with Chip Chipperson is very addictive.
That's very funny.
If I see Chip Chipperson out, he's a dead man.
Yeah, well, you'd be doing a lot of people a big favor if you fucking...
I love him.
Thank you, sir.
So we have each state has a limitation on how many refugees we could take in. I think at this point, New York has opted not to make a decision, and they're holding off on it based on they're using terrorism, and they can't let these folks in because they're tied to potential terrorism. So right now, there's a stalemate where a lot of U.S. states are not taking them in. Have they caused problems in Germany or wherever they've been?
Well, what do you think? The kids are floating babies in fucking Italy.
What's that?
Yeah,
They're floating babies coming in Italy. They're coming on these little boats, and they're coming into the country, and half of them are dying. Yeah, of course, it's a disaster. And then there's some linkage to the terrorists as well.
Well, because the terrorists are sneaking in with the refugees.
You know what I say? Oh, what else?
What else?
What else, man?
It's called terrorism, not terrorism.
Wow, that's deep. Thank you, Frank.
I'm going to see you in Philly, all right, little Jimmy?
Yes, sir. I'll be at the Fillmore, not this coming weekend, but the Thursday after.
It's coming soon already.
Yes, it is.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to come and see you, all right? I'm going to introduce myself to you.
Yeah, you should.
All right, Frank. Thank you, buddy.
All right, see you later, boys.
All right.
Bye.
Frank is one of the good ones. Let's say hi to Wayne in Alabama. Wayne.
Morning, boys.
Hi, Wayne.
Good morning.
Good show.
Thank you.
The significance of Brussels to Europe is the same as Washington, D.C. is to the United States.
Oh, okay.
It's the hub of the capital of the European Union.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So obviously this is a very big deal.
I knew it was the capital of the European Union. I just didn't see the tie-in.
Yeah, I just wanted to...
Oh, if I'd heard you say that, I wouldn't have called you.
I lied, Frank. I said I didn't know. I had no idea. If you literally mentioned Brussels and then said, Jim, what's the capital of the European Union? I would have said I have no idea. I would have guessed Germany.
Yeah. That would have been a pretty good guess.
I'm a fool. Thank you, sir.
That's it?
Thank you, guys.
All right, Wayne. Thank you, buddy. Let's say hi to Matt in Toronto. Matt.
Hey, guys. The U.S., as far as I know, is committed to take in 10,000 Syrian refugees at this point, but that's it. And as far as Brussels goes, yeah, it's the European Union capital, but there's also a neighborhood within Brussels where there's a high Muslim population and a lot of terror cells hanging out there. When the attacks on Paris happened, that was a prime area of investigation, and that's why they went back and they ended up finding one of the guys, which was confusing to me. Why would you go back there if the investigation first began there? But that's another angle to talk about another time. But that's the hotbed, really, of terrorism in Belgium is in Brussels.
Yeah, they were asking the question why it took so many months to get that guy.
Yeah, I don't know why it took so long, but I mean, how long does it take to find a lot of these guys? They're well funded and they've got pretty good networks. By the way, in Cuba, I've been twice in the last 10 years.
Sure.
And the last time I went, it was 5 years apart. A lot of the taxis were Hyundais, brand new cars.
Oh.
So they're starting to make their moves. But the guys who want to make good money still will taxi around the tourists in the big fancy Chevys.
Oh, the old ones. Okay.
What do you think about Cuba? I mean, the big companies are gonna move in there and they're gonna kind of ruin the flavor of the place, don't you think?
Well, I think in certain places it might take away. I mean, the last time we were there, we were in Havana. There was this old square that we've been in. There was an old church, a couple of really nice old buildings, and one had been converted into a Pepe jeans store. Wow. And we saw a Nike store and an Adidas store. So it does change the flavor a little bit in certain pockets of the country. But overall, there have been, as far as hotels and stuff, there have been a lot of new ones built in the last decade. So I don't know where they're going to be able to, necessarily build a ton of new ones. Maybe certainly renovate some of the ones that are there and spruce them up a little bit. But it is a beautiful country. They've got amazing beaches, and it's my favorite vacation spot.
I hear there's not a lot of crime either.
You know what? I've never encountered it, and I mean we stayed at two different places. One place is called Cayo Largo, and it's a small island on the south side of the country. Has its own airport, no inhabitants, so it's quite private. We've also stayed in Veradero, which is quite open, and you get a lot of vendors walking the beaches and selling their hats and T-shirts and jewelry. But at no point have I ever felt like we were in any sort of danger or felt threatened at all. I've always found the people very, very friendly, very approachable. I think, honestly, one of my highlights of all time, I'm a big baseball fan. We were in Havana in front of the Capitol building. There were some kids playing baseball. And I got to go and just play a little baseball with some guys right there on the lawn of the Capitol building, which was really cool.
Do they have homemade? Do they have homemade gloves?
No, they weren't homemade gloves, but it was an old ball. It was an old bat. I'll tell you what, the thing that really sort of freaked me out was I played ball with them for about 5 or 10 minutes, and as I walked away, there was an older guy that was hanging around them, and he wanted money for having been allowed to play baseball with them, which kind of threw me a little bit.
How much did you pay him?
I didn't pay him anything.
He needed that money.
No, I gave the kids the money, and you see that a lot. The last time we were walking through Havana, there are a lot of kids that beg for money, and they literally follow you around.
Well, that's like Brazil, yeah.
Yeah, and the real sad part of it is, and the locals will tell you that 99% of the time you give those kids money, they're not holding on to it. It's going to some adult somewhere. It's not their money.
Well, that makes sense, of course.
Yeah, it's sad, but...
Well, Jimmy's going to go to Cuba soon.
Yeah, I just don't know when I'm off for a weekend, but I really do want to go down there.
You should literally schedule that immediately.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Cuba.
Veradero. Veradero, the best beaches in Cuba.
Very cool. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. I hear a lot of the buildings are falling down and definitely need a lot of help, too. So,
oh, yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting to see what happens to Cuba as we move forward. Kevin in Louisiana, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to say that with concerning to the refugees overseas, you don't hear about it over here. The American press doesn't really report what goes on over there with the men and how they treat women over there. If you go and you look at a lot of the overseas papers like the UK, even the German Chancellor, Merkel, whatever her name is, I think she suffered a huge loss in an election this year because of her wanting all that. And they just don't have that much respect for women like we do, yet the American press doesn't report it.
Who doesn't respect the women? I mean, the Muslims?
A lot of the Muslim men over there.
Oh, yeah, people know that. That's pretty common knowledge.
We all pretty much know that at this point.
No one thinks Islam is terrific to women. I don't think that's a secret.
Here's the question. What's the end game? What's the end game where this is to...
I don't know.
I mean, all right, you got your terrorist attacks happening more and more frequently, but then what's the end game here? That we're all going to see it their way, or they're going to try to wipe out our way of life? I mean, how does this end?
It's just, I don't know. They want an Islamic State.
Right.
They want, and I want that too. I think we all do in some... I'm tired of seeing women walk around, their big breasts flopping. Yeah, I hate it. Cover them up. Cover them up. It's obviously a wonderful way of life.
But seriously, how does this end?
You know what?
When they finally get an Islamic State, but that's not happening. That's never happening. It'll be the end of the world before that happens.
I think so, or something close to it.
All right.
They treat women like shit.
Thank you, Kevin.
Whenever I'm in an airport and I see a woman in a black burqa all dressed up and hidden, and I see her husband walking out of the bathroom in cargo shorts.
I've seen that many times myself.
I'm like, I get it that it's a different culture, but it stinks.
It's unbelievable.
To cover a woman up like that, and then while you're relaxed, and looking comfortable because of the weather, is just fucking awful.
I remember, I think it was Toronto. It was either Toronto or Montreal. I think it was Toronto. So that exact thing in the middle of summer, it had to be over 100 degrees. It was a brutally hot day, and he's walking around with sandals and shorts and a nice light T-shirt. And yeah, his wife was, she has to walk ahead or behind?
I'm guessing behind.
Behind, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
And she's just trudging behind, just miserable because she's just sweating her ass off.
Because they can't handle looking at women. I mean, what do you want to tell you?
I don't know. I mean, we're never...
Not that I handle it well either. I literally, my dick last night, I was jerking off. I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not horny. My dick wasn't hard. I'm just tugging it.
Just tugging your
For
pod?
no reason. I was just distracting myself for a few minutes.
So why didn't you go do something?
No, it was like 11. It was like time for bed.
Oh, yeah, but sometimes you get one in and then you fall asleep better.
Well, I went to bed right after that.
It'll relax you.
Yeah.
You can fall asleep nice.
I made a boo-boo. That's what I call it.
You made a boo-boo?
Yeah, I made a boo-boo on my stomach, and then I wiped it up.
Oh, all right. So you got there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you couldn't accomplish the feat at hand.
No, my dick wasn't hard, but I made myself anyway. I just wasn't. I'm like, why am I doing this? So maybe there's something to be said for not ogling, staring at women. I've become a creepy man. Become, yes, but over years.
Okay, I'm like, become.
I know become is the operative word.
Now they're saying 28 dead in coordinated attacks.
All right.
Mr. Trump is talking on Fox News right now. You want to go to that real fast?
Let's see. I'm sure he's saying something enlightening.
All right, let's see this.
Millions of dollars, and then we're supposed to sit back and listen to the New York Times. The fact is that we have a situation worldwide, a situation that is out of control. And just all I do, I'm looking at your pictures now on the show. It's disgraceful, and that's what it is. I've been saying it for a long time.
Donald Trump, I don't think I did a good job describing that to you. What I was saying is, what do you think of the New York Times? They took you to task about your assessment of Brussels. Were you right?
Oh, of course I'm right. I mean, just turn on the television and obviously look at Fox and Friends, Of course. I mean, you take a look at it. Brussels is a disaster. And it's been a disaster. Brussels is an armed camp, and I'm not talking about today. You go down into Brussels now, it's an armed camp. If you went into Brussels 20 years ago, it was like a magical city.
Right.
It was a magical city. And now you look at it, it's an armed camp. I'm just looking at your pictures on television right now. It's horrible.
And in particular, for instance, in the neighborhood where they picked up this Abdul Salam, one of the guys from the Paris attacks, in that Muslim community, police have no penetration in that neighborhood and a lot of people don't have a real connection to the police, and there's high unemployment, so that explains a lot about that.
The police are afraid to go into the neighborhood, and he was being protected by other people in the neighborhood. So here's one of the Paris leaders and killers, and he's being protected by people in the city itself. It's ridiculous.
He was 4 doors down from his parents.
Right.
Wow.
It's crazy, and it's not going to change. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse.
I want to ask you, too, because you're a businessman, about the markets, because I know the markets are down. Brussels is a hotbed for international business. What happens now going forward from a business perspective?
Well, I think this whole thing will get worse as time goes by. It's being, perpetrated all over the place now. Brussels is in very bad shape, but many cities will be this way, and, with what's taking place. And it's really the policies of people that don't know what they're doing. It's people that don't know what they see what's happening, and yet they allow it to continue to happen.
Mr. Trump, let me ask you about this. As we look at these images, we know that once you get through the security zone at the airports,
he's actually making...
The security is high. However,
he's not wrong. I mean... Yeah. It's enough already.
Right.
And I think what people like about him, what I like about him, is... At least he speaks about it honestly.
Yeah.
We know the group that's doing it. Yeah, he's not pretending. Mm-hmm. He's not avoiding saying the word Islamic. Mm-hmm. That's who's doing the attacks.
Yeah, he didn't seem too... he seemed with it there, right?
Just in general, I like the fact that he talks about that honestly.
Right.
And he doesn't pretend that we don't know why it's happening.
Right.
They're just bad people.
Right. All right. Here's the end game, according to LSD in San Francisco. Oh. Wow, LSD, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Fuck yeah!
We like
I'm zoted.
LSD in San Francisco. That works for you,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. It's cool. What's going on, guys?
Hello, sir.
No. The end game is exactly what you're seeing right now. It's just perpetual conflict, and there's no stop to it. I mean, like, what would you like to see the end game be, Jimmy?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, first of all, one thing I would like it to be addressed honestly, and I would like people just to talk about it for what it is.
What do you mean addressed honestly? I think everybody's pretty up in front about attacking all Muslims for any episode of violence that any Muslim does all over the world.
No, they're really not, Ken. They're really not up for.
They are.
No, they're really not. This is the troll. No, they're really not.
I'm not a troll. Wait a second. I'm not a troll, so chill. I'm just a person with a different opinion.
No, you're the guy that calls under a different name. Of course he is.
Oh, you're the guy from Chicago? And
yeah,
now you're
of
from
course
San Francisco?
Dude, what's your real name?
Yeah, use your real name. I don't give a fuck. We'll put you on from time to time.
What's your real name?
You don't have to sneak behind fake names and fake cities. Just say who you really are, and every once in a while we'll go to you.
Okay, all right. Damn. It's Ken Steele. I'm from Chicago. I'm at Long, Slow, and Deep on Twitter. So, yeah, that's me.
I know. Anyway, I blocked you because you're a dick. Oh, Jimmy's spreading his racist views. You're a fucking cocksucker.
Dude, on a regular basis, you do. And
tell me one view I have that's racist.
Okay, I mean, one time that we discussed, you justified stop and frisk in New York. I mean, like...
Hold on, no, wait a minute. So that's a racist view, or that's a view on crime that you don't agree with?
No. That is definitely, I mean, as it's been applied, as we've seen, as we can observe, yes. The policy stop and frisk is very racist in its application, and it's used.
Well, they stopped doing it. So people, you know what? I don't even want to talk to this guy. Goodbye. Bye.
What's going on?
Bye,
buddy.
Call with your real name. The reason I'm for stop and frisk, it was protecting people in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's not affecting my life at all.
Yeah,
that doesn't make life easier for Jim Norton.
And a lot of people in those neighborhoods.
Yeah, you're a douche, dude.
Kind of wish that they would bring some of that back. Because they also have noticed some of the crime stats have gone up in New York.
Yeah.
Since they stopped the stop and frisk program.
I know I'm one of these crazy people. Like, I would love to see those neighborhoods be safer for people who live there.
Yeah.
I don't live in Harlem. I don't live in the Bronx. I don't live in Washington Heights. I don't live in fucking Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Right.
It's not making my life. My life isn't affected either way as far as my day-to-day life.
Sure.
And then they're like, well, the police got to do better work. Okay, what would you like the police to do?
Yeah, you're pretty much handcuffing
They
them.
say these fucking things like, well, the police just have to treat everybody nice, get more people of color in it. And then when the cops from the neighborhood are kept there, they sue because they want to work the nicer places like the white cops.
Right.
It's just a fucking
Of course.
cesspool.
If you're a cop, you don't want to be in those neighborhoods. Of course you want to move on to better neighborhoods.
Well, I mean,
but make your job a little easier.
I don't fault them for not wanting to be around a high crime area, but it's just.
But if you're a low man on the totem pole, then we all know enough cops. You start in the shitty neighborhoods and you slowly work your way up.
But that's what a troll is. But just so people know, that's a guy who really thinks he's saying something, but he can't even call in. Oh, okay, this is Ken Steele. After we catch him. But he pretends he's somebody from somewhere else.
Yeah, he's calling from San Francisco as LSD. Just call up as your regular self, and every once in a while we'll go to you.
That's what a troll is.
You know, I don't give a fuck.
So why do you listen? I don't understand why this guy listens to us.
It's weird why some of these people listen. They just I don't know. They just want to listen and hate.
And he claims to do comedy. Dude, you've never said a fucking funny thing on this show when you've called in. Never. You've never said a lightly amusing thing. You've never said anything that could have been misconstrued as an attempt at humor.
You never got a chuckle from Ken?
I've never even seen him go for a chuckle.
Right. He's pretty
probably
intense.
one of those boring guys who wants people to listen to him, and he wants to be heard. And he probably is not good at comedy, so he just calls up and trolls the radio show. It's like, dude, just call up as you. And if you were a bit more pliable. But you're going to tell me I'm spreading racism? Go fuck yourself.
I think he's calling back as himself now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you're calling back as yourself. Are you really Ken in Chicago, first of all?
Yes. This is Ken Steele in Chicago.
Let me ask you a question, though, honestly, and I'm not even being a dick to you. We've had you on. We've argued with you, and we've showed you courtesy. And why do you listen to the show if you don't like it?
I think it's more like, at this point, like a force of habit.
So you can't control yourself as a grown-up. Like, you don't like something.
Force of habit.
That's the most ridiculous answer.
What a shitty way to start your day.
Did you ever think
I would want to start with this shit if I didn't like it?
Well, wait a second.
And why don't you get yourself out there? You feel like you have these strong views about racism and stuff. Why don't you start your own thing and try to get your own following?
Well,
start a podcast or something, a blog.
Okay.
Start making YouTube videos, something.
Okay, first of all, I do like to get a healthy dose of white supremacy in the morning.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
I'm not even mad by that because I know how ridiculous that statement is.
Well, if that's why you listen.
I like to know what white people feel in environments where they're comfortable, and I'm not in the room. Like, whenever I'm in the room, white people change up.
I wouldn't change up.
Oh, my God.
I wouldn't change up my views if you were in the room.
You don't know anything about us. We wouldn't be fucking scared because Ken from Chicago's in the room.
Well, I mean,
that's ridiculous. And what kind of comedy do you do? Because Jimmy said you're a comic. Where do you perform?
A caller said that once.
Are you a comic or trying to do comedy?
I do comedy. I mean, like, yes, I get paid to tell jokes on stages from time to time. Not lots of money, not yet, but it's building. It's coming.
So you listen to a radio show that you don't like.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
No, you don't like the show. You don't enjoy the show. You think that we're racist because we don't agree with... For you to think that I'm a racist, it's just mind-boggling to me.
That's so stupid.
So what do you...
Wait a second. I'm not stupid for suspecting that Jim...
I said that's so stupid. The statement
I'll say
is
this.
stupid.
If you think I'm a white supremacist, you're a dumb motherfucker. You're a dummy.
I mean, like, I don't think you're, like, an extremist with a gun, but, I mean, I think some of the things that you've said have definitely given some people some, I guess, encouragement or some feeling of purpose for doing certain things. For example, you spent a good portion of the earlier part of this century justifying the war in Iraq. And, you know, the war in Iraq was definitely a racist-ass war. I mean, like, I have to
Ken, you're a boring guy.
I have to say...
You got to start your own thing and try to get your own following for these views.
You really do.
Look.
No, for real, it's very easy to just try to, you know, call a show and you know, but try to do this on a regular basis and try to get a following.
You're racially obsessed. Your obsession with race is boring.
My obsession with race, you talk about race every morning.
I'm paid to talk for 4 hours a day. It comes up. That's literally all you talk about when you call is race.
It comes up on a regular basis because it's a very hot topic in America these days. But I don't think we obsess about it by any stretch of the imagination.
You listen to a show.
Talk about white. You can't even talk about white privilege without getting inflamed.
This is what a dope Ken. This is where you really need to talk to honest white people. Most white people, when we hear about white privilege, I've said this before, I do think it's a real thing. I think it exists.
To a point.
The fact that it annoys me is something I don't know. Why does it annoy me? So what I'm basically, I'm not asking. No. I'm not asking you. I'm saying this is my dilemma. I don't trust your opinion enough to ask you. I'm saying this is why I've talked about it. It annoys me even though I know it exists. So why do these things, as I get older, fucking annoy me? Like, why do I resist newer ideas? So it's a flaw in myself that I'm talking about. And this is probably why you're a lousy comic, because you don't look at yourself that way. You're just blathering out your views and you're not doing any type of introspection or talking about, like, hey, maybe I am wrong about this, or maybe I look at this. I'm admitting something that most people don't admit, stupid.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not even yelling.
God, that's not yelling.
You don't. First of all, that's like, what are you, my girlfriend with that tactic? I'm not even yelling at you.
Exactly.
Opie's looking at me. I'm not even angry at you.
You're calling me names.
He's not.
I called you stupid. Yes.
It's very hard, Jimmy. And all I'll say is this:
you called me a racist and a white supremacist, and I called you stupid.
Yeah.
And now you don't like me calling you names.
Yeah, you don't like that.
Boy, you and I should have dated at one point. The way you argue.
Well, wait a second, Jim.
He's the type of guy that will keep you up all night just arguing.
Just
and all you want to do is
yapping.
go to bed and sleep a few hours.
What, Ken?
Shit, but Jim, all I'm saying is, yeah, dude, you harbor some very interesting feelings about race. You in particular, I mean, that are left on this program.
Everyone harbors interesting views about race.
I think Jimmy has a pretty open mind about it, and he tries to look at it from different angles.
It's fairly consistent, the angle that you approach everything from. It's from an angle of, hey, look.
Give one example.
Again.
Give one example.
Yeah, give an
like
example.
A real example.
Yeah, I would like an example, Ken.
You're just talking in broad strokes here. Give an example of something Jimmy said recently.
Like, I think that if you admit that you don't like the show and you listen because you want to hear the race stuff, so can't you have enough self-knowledge to understand that you just hear things a certain way, or are you that self-unaware?
Oh, I mean, like, I'm definitely aware of the white supremacist perspective. That's nothing that's lost on me. I mean, like, this whole program...
You're mentally ill with race.
I think so, too.
White people are going extinct from Europe thing.
Why, I didn't want to talk to this guy anymore. You do.
Right,
how about this, Ken? The next time you call back, don't talk about race. It's boring.
Okay. I mean, it's cool. Hey,
no, talk about something else. We have to have something in common. So the racial talk is boring. You don't respect my opinion. I don't respect yours. So let's just...
No. I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to put you on with Terry in Chicago. Terry, you're on with Ken.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey,
Ken, I got a question for you, man. Where did you grow up in Chicago?
Oh, I grew up in Michigan, bro.
Okay, so check this out, man. You don't understand why there should be stop and frisk. And before you respond, let me explain something to validate myself a little bit, man. I'm 36, man. I grew up in Inglewood. You check the stats. You check the stats on Inglewood.
Inglewood, up to no good.
Inglewood, Illinois. Right. Exactly. So you check the stats. And I'm going to tell you something, man. Stop and frisk, even though it fucking blew, it sucked being one of those kids. You riding around with your friends and you going somewhere. He's pulling you over. Hold on one second.
Just interrupt. Stop interrupting, for fuck's sake.
Can't let him make his point.
Jesus Christ.
You're going to be a shitty radio show host.
He's a terrible human being. It sucks riding around and you going to play basketball with your friends and you're not doing anything wrong and the police fucking pull you over and you get harassed. But it also fucking sucks dick when you going to school and you're trying to get an education and a motherfucker's walking out on a basketball court with a gun talking about, I got next. I really wish the police, hold on, bruh. I really wish the police would have been stopping and frisking motherfuckers. Because guess what? I wouldn't have been robbed pretty much every fucking day coming from high school. There wouldn't have been people getting shot pretty much every fucking day going to high school, man. And outside of that. So if the police were able to do that job and people weren't looking at this as a racial thing, it's not a racial thing, dude. If people are committing crimes, the police need to be able to do their job. You need to be able to put those resources in an area where it's needed most. They don't need people being stop and frisk downtown because the people downtown are going to do their fucking job. But the people in fucking Inglewood are selling drugs. They doing goofy shit. They killing my people. Nigga, I've been shot. I've been shot.
Okay, first of all,
hold on, man. You do a lot of talking, but you really ain't saying nothing, man. I've been shot. Go and pick up my girl from work. We go 67 in Stony Island, if you fucking familiar with the city. We dropping off her tips at the fucking bank, and the motherfucker robs us. And I get shot, and guess what I found out? It wasn't some random dude. It was some motherfucker I used to play basketball with, and we used to kick their ass in basketball, so this dude decided he want to fucking shoot me, take my money, because we beat him in basketball. Bruh, if people like that, hold up, man. If people like that were off the street, if the police were able to do their job, and if individuals like you didn't come on and say these things that you're saying and making it seem like it's okay and kind of validating this goofy, passive-aggressive, kind of goofy ass, dude, it wouldn't exist. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Jimmy, because I've been listening to this show since like 2004, man. Jimmy has not ever been a proponent of the Iraq war. And I'm a veteran. So I'm going to tell you something, man. I wasn't a proponent of the Iraq war or any war. Because being there, I understood exactly what it is going on, and it was about a lot of goofy shit. And I lost friends over there as a result of that. And I support what Jimmy is saying when he says we should bring all our fucking troops home and not be over in countries meddling in goofy shit that really don't have nothing to do with us. Now you go.
I have to jump in very quickly.
Right.
Ken, before you respond, I did, when I was on Tough Crowd, I was for the war. Yeah, that's okay. And then as time went on, evidence showed me that I shouldn't have been. So I changed my opinion.
Okay. I apologize.
Okay, no big deal.
Which is not the easiest thing to do, but Jimmy certainly does that from time to time. Go ahead, Ken. It's to you now.
Okay, so first of all, Inglewood exists for a reason, and it's not out of the will of the people that live there. The situation that would arise from simply playing a basketball game and getting shot, I mean, it exists on purpose, man. I'm telling you.
Bro, what's the purpose? What are you talking about?
Dog, I'm telling you, there's a program at work here in Chicago. It's really fucked up. I've lived here. I've lived in Detroit. I've lived in Michigan. They're running the same kind of program over there as well. But in Chicago, it's super concentrated, it's super focused, and they have it under strict control in certain areas. So what I will say is that, yes, it's unfortunate that you've been shot at. It's unfortunate that, yes, some neighborhoods that, hey, look, black people are under direct violent attack. But it does not justify, me.
Most of the time it's perpetuated by ourselves.
Wait a second. It does not justify me living in East Lansing, Michigan, going to school, being pulled out of my friend's car on a compulsory stop for no reason other than the fact that it's a hoopsie. I mean, like, we really got harassed.
Was that a high crime area? Was it a high crime area?
No, dude, this is in East Lansing, Michigan. When I was at Michigan State University, I'm telling you, dude, this racism shit is not justifiable.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. But the only way for us to be able to move,
my friend, dude, be very, very careful about what you think when you endorse some of these white folks. Because you
talking about, dude? Listen, man. Okay, check it out, man. I'm not. I used to be really militant in a way, like growing up, because I was very angry about a lot of shit. And there was absolutely a separation between me and different races. But as I've come along in my life, man, hold on one second, bro. As I've come along in my life, what I've understood is that I can't rightfully be a supporter of only one race. I'm a supporter of people, man. I'm a supporter of people because as a community, listen, just calm down for a second and kind of think about it, man. Because if you go to a hospital, it's not only black people helping you, man. It's everybody helping you.
If you driving down the street as a black person, systemically and statistically, you are going to get worse care. If you are a black person going to a hospital, I advise you to be very attentive to what's happening.
Who is this guy? Where did you come from?
He's a fake radical guy who listens to a radio show he doesn't like because he likes to get himself upset. He's not comfortable unless he's being righteous. He's like the angry young white guy who's always got the social cause. Hey, man, that's what Ken is.
Wait a second.
You black, aren't you?
Yes, 100%. My parents are from Nigeria. I'm 100% black. I'm telling you.
Wait, you said you're from where?
My parents are in the medical field.
Where?
They will tell you that black people are getting systemically worse care. I have friends that are medical students right now.
His parents are from Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Okay, I got you. That's why he's so militant. I get it.
My family's from Nigeria. I'm from Illinois. All I'm saying is this,
all right, we can.
Yeah, all right. Hey, Terry, thanks for the phone call.
Thanks,
buddy.
Terry.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
Bye, Ken.
All right.
No.
Wait a second.
No, get your own radio show, and you could be doing this every day.
Why would you expect the courtesy when you have done nothing but fucking bash me, and then you want your one last moment?
Yeah, I just want to say, hey, look, you were right. When you are on a porno shoot, it's all business. It's not really sex. So, hey, dude.
No, I know it's not.
Dude, it's fucked up. Anyway, check me out on my Twitter. Dude, I got really great videos of me slapping girls on the ass. You can see all...
It's just exhausting.
Exactly. I thought Terry did a very good job there.
Yeah, I mean, Terry's got his, he's got his experience, but to say that stop and frisk is just based on race, I love seeing blacks get stopped. It's just idiotic.
Even though I grew up in a pretty nice neighborhood, I wouldn't have minded if there was some stop and frisking going on. There's always suspicious people around, and I'm not talking black people. I'm just talking in general. I would feel pretty safe if the cops were always stopping and frisking.
But that guy's as unreachable as a conspiracy theorist. It's like this weird way of looking at things where you see everything through that lens. Yeah, and you never change the way you
he'll never change. He'll never listen to the other point of view, and you always try to listen to the other side, and then you when you have some downtime, you think about it, and every once in a while maybe you do change your views or see it another way. That guy is one of those people that will never see it the other way.
Yeah,
it's really strange that he listens to the show every day. What a weird way to start your day, to just get all angry and pissed off and filled with hate.
I literally have, or just to misinterpret it as something. Like, if you want to find angry white people, and this is where you come, you stink at being a radical.
No kidding.
Like, literally, if you're out, thinking you're fighting the cause and you're going to fight white power, and you listen to Opie and Jim in the morning, and that's the way you get started, you're shit at being a radical.
It's way worse than this.
Oh, my God.
I feel like we have an open mind in general. I feel like we try to get all points of view represented.
Silly.
Sometimes we don't do a good job with that, but I know over the years we certainly have tried to see these issues from many different angles.
But it's, with him it's race. With someone else it's 9/11. With someone else it's the moon landing. People just get this fucking obsessive way of thinking.
And then just want to just yell and never listen to the other side's point of view.
Yeah, it's like where you get that. It's like when you start arguing and you get that fucking dry talking breath from talking so much, and you think, if I can just make my point a certain way, everyone will hear it.
Yeah.
But to think that when I was for the Iraq War, to think that was about race is just is just childish.
Why
It's
were you for
incorrect.
the war at first?
Because I really did think that Saddam Hussein was killing his own people with gas, and gassing the Kurds in his own. And I also thought he might have weapons. And because of the way Colin Powell, there was that bad information Colin Powell got in the UN.
I think a lot of us were for the war at first.
It was very embarrassing.
I certainly was for the war at first, especially after 9/11. You felt like we had to do something. Remember how frustrated we were? Because in the old days, someone attacked you, you knew exactly who your target was, and you went and took care of business. And then we had to learn over the years that you know this enemy is just everywhere, and it just hides, and it's not as easy as just bombing a city and taking care of the problem.
Yeah,
or invading a country.
Yeah, I really thought it was because he wouldn't let the inspectors in. I really thought this guy is hiding something. He has something, and that was a big paranoid time. But it was as far as like Iraqi freedom and all that shit. Bill Maher said something years ago that like the U.S. I think he said we should have just walked out with egg on our face and said, all right, we were wrong. And he was kind of right about that. Like to have gotten stuck there for all those years, trying to change the way these cultures think, it's not our job.
And Saddam Hussein had a way of kind of
controlling a situation.
Kind of controlling it in a way, certainly better than it is now.
But if you leave it alone and you're like, okay, look, it's not my business, do whatever you want to your own people, then you're considered, you're being complicit when a dictator is murdering people.
Right.
You can't win.
Exactly.
But Ken, just move on. Like, dude, stop listening. If you don't like the show, I don't understand the obsession with listening to something you don't like. Like, we're talking about it, but I don't think about him when I'm not.
Oh God, no.
Getting a phone call from him.
I don't even recognize his voice.
The way he says certain words, I recognize.
I'm usually pretty good at recognizing the regulars, and you recognize his voice.
Yeah.
I thought I was talking to LSD from San Francisco.
Yeah, but then to have to admit, like, yeah, I'm Ken. Like, what are you doing?
Just like, call up as yourself, and every once in a while we'll fit you in.
Like, you're a person that wants to do stand-up or wants to do something.
Yeah.
And you can't even call a radio show as yourself. You have to pretend you're someone else.
Right.
Then again, I'm Chip Chipperson, so I'm probably in no position to confuse people.
I mean, that's, you're doing your character.
No, but I've done that to strangers, too, so I understand that.
We put Chuck from North Carolina on a bunch because he's very entertaining to me. It doesn't mean I agree with his views. Matter of fact, I don't agree with a lot of the things Chuck says. But I know as far as a radio show goes, to put him on from time to time is very entertaining. Ken is not entertaining.
No, but he's got, what is this that you just found, Paul?
Him doing stand-up.
Okay. I've never seen him do stand-up.
Is it good?
I don't know.
I'm just listening now.
All right, find us a minute maybe, and we'll give him a minute.
Let's see what he does.
He looks really angry on stage. And it looks like there's two people in the room.
That's probably just an open mic. I mean, he might be new. So.
But he's dressed very nice.
Yeah.
He's dressed all snazzy and shit. Trump on Fox just made great points. I can't believe I'm saying that. Oh, wow. Let's go to Josh in Boston. Josh, is that your real name, sir?
Oh, yeah. I call it your day.
All right. No, I know you, Josh. What's going on?
No, Trump was on Fox. I was jumping back between fucking the douchebag Ken and Fox, and they had Trump on. And, he was very held back on what he was saying. He wasn't saying as usual, let's bomb him, let's kill him. He was really just saying, we need to go in there, we need to go after the main guys, we need to get the Muslims on our side to basically not rat, but if they see something, again, they'll say something. Get them on our side, and he was just very restrained this time when he was talking. He was very much more presidential than he's been.
Okay.
So it was just kind of nice. But
I think more Muslims have to decide what they really want out of all this too, right? They got to kind of, huh?
I think so, definitely.
Because it's really fucking their way of life up. Is this what they want? Because I feel like more need to speak up and go, this is bullshit. This is affecting our way of life. Because you always hear, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you always hear when this topic comes up that, most Muslims are peaceful, and I do believe that in my heart, but I feel like they need to speak up more.
Yeah, they don't. It's just kind of like, let's just not show the bad enough. They don't want to admit that there's a lot of bad there, too.
Right. Now we're up to 28 dead in coordinated attacks, so the number keeps going up as we start our first hour of the radio show here. All right. Yeah.
Weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. I remember seeing a lot of stuff. They might have not had the full-blown weapons, but they had the materials to make it. So I think, kind of can lean on that a little bit.
Right.
So.
All right.
I mean, we just had a cop killed and a state trooper at his funeral today. Guy was going down the left lane, did a hard right from the left lane to the right lane and plowed into him while he was doing pulling somebody over. They don't know if it was purposely or what, but he fucking hard right, 90 miles an hour, right into his ass end, killed him.
What road up there?
Mass Pike.
Oh, it was in Mass Pike. Holy shit, I haven't seen the story yet.
It was late last week. His funeral's today.
Okay.
But guy, he's a father of 6 with a wife. And he had someone pulled over. Guy was coming along doing about 90. They said he looked like he picked up speed when he saw the cop. Went across all 3 lanes, hard right into the cop.
Jesus. We got the story up on our computer right now. I'm going to read about it. All right, Josh. Thank you, buddy. We're heading toward our first break, so we got to let you go there.
All right, man.
All right, buddy. We got Mark Norman coming back today. And
want a little bit of this?
You want to hear this?
A little bit, yeah. And I'll be fair about it.
All right. Jimmy knows a little bit about stand-up, and now we got Ken from Chicago. We found a video of him doing stand-up.
I'm really cool with everything because, all the cop cars are safe. No cop cars are burning or anything like that. You know what I mean? The CDS is intact, so that's all well and good and everything like that. Nobody's out in the streets or anything like that. It's almost like nobody gives a shit. I don't know. That's how I'm reading the tea leaves and everything like that. Yeah. But, folks, I don't know. It's just Officer Brian Moore and everything like that. It's really unfortunate that this whole comic situation had to be interrupted by that. I'm sorry about that. Let's get on with the show. And seriously.
What did you do, Paul?
Before we were so rudely interrupted by
what was it?
I mean, in all fairness to Ken, I think you picked a weird spot.
He started with a touching tribute to a fallen officer, a warning to white women, instructions on dealing with...
Yeah, but it sounds like he was addressing something that happened in the crowd. So.
I was just picking it up midway through.
Oh, wait, did he...
Oh, you got to find an actual bit, to be fair to Ken. I'm not a fan of Ken in general, but let's be at least fair. That sounded like you picked it up in the middle of some kind of turmoil that was happening in the room. All right, we should go to break.
Just give it a second. I got to see what he does. I have to. Hi, Mark.
Hey.
What's up, Mark? How are you, buddy?
Good to be here.
Good to have you back, my friend.
I heard there's some bad news.
Yeah, another terrorist attack.
Ah, jeez.
Did you...
Oh, he's just fixing the camera.
Oh. And then you're going to find the other thing?
Yeah. Oh. Paul wears many hats.
He's multitasking.
Yeah, he had to walk with the camera as Mark's in.
We're trying to have him find... Huh?
I definitely want to break, but I just... Now that he clicked on this,
right.
I want to see what it is.
Can you find a bit real fast? Are you panicking over there? You need time? What do you need, Paul?
No, I'm just looking through it.
Okay. But then in the middle of looking through it, you went and adjusted the camera.
Mark.
Sorry. We got jokes on fleek?
What's fleek?
It's like, jokes like crazy.
Oh, okay.
Jokes for days.
Right. All right, you know what? We got to take a break. Yeah. Jimmy's hitting the road again this weekend. He's got Portland, and
I'll be telling my racist jokes in.
Jimmy's a white supremacist.
Yes, I am.
Oh, wow.
No Jews, please. Only white people only. That's right. A nice white audience, smiling happily. I'll be doing it in Portland on Friday, and then Denver on Saturday, and then the week after, I'm in Philadelphia on Thursday, and Wilmington, Delaware on the Friday.
And all of Jimmy's dates are at JimNorton.com. We got Mark Norman in studio, and a little later on, Jimmy Carr for the first time. Very excited to meet him, so it's going to be great.
You don't know Jimmy? I know you never met him.
I've never met Jimmy Carr, no. And I only saw his stand-up for the first time when I checked out that Netflix special.
Yeah.
Funny Business, right?
Yeah.
It's called. I loved it.
So good.
I'm excited to meet Jimmy today. Stay there. All right, we're back with Mark Norman.
Yes.
Yo.
What's going on, Mark?
I'm just late to the game. I'm trying to figure out everything. The terrorist bombing, and then the hack on fleek.
I don't know if he's a hacker. I haven't seen his act, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know.
Well, his name's Ken from Chicago. Calls our show. And
he called it something else from fucking San Francisco. Thank you.
And then I guess if I saw Ken from Chicago, I would put him on from time to time, no problem. I don't care. It makes good radio in a weird way. He's not saying anything of importance, and then he feels like he's not being heard enough, so then he changes his name and where he's calling from. And today it was LSD from San Francisco, which was pretty damn obvious that it was some idiot.
But if you're a stand-up and you're pretending to be another person, like again, when I do Chip or whatever, I mean, people kind of know it's me. I'm very public. I don't make up names. I don't call places and go, "Hi, it's Frank from Schenectady."
Right. Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Yeah, we're not afraid of you. Call, and from time to time we'll throw you in the mix.
Yeah, I find you irritating. I don't find you scary. I don't find your opinions dangerous. Oh, don't let that guy on. Yeah. Don't let that guy on. He sees us for what we really are. Don't let that guy on. He's unafraid. Don't let that guy on.
I like this guy. Who's this guy?
Just me.
Oh, I like that guy.
But I mean, like, you really need to get a hold of yourself. No one is frightened of your opinions. No one thinks that you're the guy who's telling it like it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, we'll talk about race, but not the way he does it. He's real.
Yeah, we're not going to hand the whole radio show over to you, but from time to time, we'll throw you on and see what you got to say.
Your anger or your disgust at white people isn't frightening or uncomfortable.
It's annoying.
Irritating.
And he says he listens.
But understand the difference between irritating and annoying and frightening and like, whoa.
And he says he listens to us out of habit.
Habit?
Yeah. So he likes, and he gets very angry by listening to the show. I don't know why you would do that to yourself.
And if this is the show you listen to get yourself angry, you're a shitty radical. You stink at being a radical.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of times we go, okay, I see it a little differently today.
Yeah. Does he just go at it on the phone?
I honestly, no offense, Ken, I tune you out.
And if he has more, I guarantee you, he has more than one Twitter account, but not all, like, everyone knows it's Ken. It's probably as different people. He's probably, like, different usernames. It's like, one of those guys.
Right. And then we had this guy, Terry, from Chicago, and he sounded very reasonable as he talked to Ken.
I know Ken said it's because... who cares what he said? Let's just hear his act. I don't want to talk about this.
All right, so then we found...
I'll be fair about it, too.
And he's now calling back again. Like, I mean, we're trying to move on here, Ken.
We're actually going to play...
You want me to...
If he says one dick thing, if he's rude, hang up on him.
We're going to play your act now, Ken.
Okay.
We got two very successful comics in the studio.
Moderately.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
So we're gonna play one of your bits, and you might have heard me say, to be fair to Ken, we didn't find a good point of his YouTube video to play on the show.
Yes, that was fair. That was fair.
All right, so now we're gonna play about a minute here?
A minute or so.
All right, a minute or so. Okay, let's listen to this. And Ken, keep your mouth shut.
You know, when Barack Obama became president, the first thing that I noticed that happened was all the white people got really creative ways to say the N-word. Like, seriously. I mean, like, my favorite was by the president of the NRA recently. He said that we've had 8 years enough. 8 years is enough for a demographically symbolic president. And I'm like... I know what you just said. Like seriously, that's nigger with no swag. That's like just flat. No swag, all the punch. I get it. My favorite one was by Ted Nugent. He called Barack Obama a subhuman mongrel. Like damn, that's a really effective way to say the N-word. Like seriously, you really feel it. Seriously, I don't know, white girls. I don't know what they're gonna come up with saying about you. But what I do know is this. When there is the first white woman president, don't be surprised if you hear news reports about white girls walking back to their dorms with pumpkin spice lattes in hand, and then they get shot in the chest by a security guard. Seriously, unarmed. Don't be surprised when you hear that. And don't be surprised when the first white woman president doesn't do shit about it. Like, seriously.
You know what?
Just don't be surprised.
That wasn't bad.
No, I'll say this. Ken
wasn't bad.
is, at least he's talking about what he wants to talk about on stage. You're not inconsistent on stage. You're doing what you want to do. I mean, you're being consistent with your views on stage. I respect that.
Yeah, hey, I just felt like you saw a lot of people doing jokes that make racist people feel comfortable, and I kind of just don't want to do that. I want to make jokes that make people who aren't racist feel comfortable. There you go.
All right, well, good luck to you, Ken.
And one bit of advice, comedically, if you would like it.
Dude, that'd be great.
I would suggest
Ken is now.
I would suggest this. I like the fact that he talks about what he wants to talk about on stage, and he's not a bad comic. He's just new. And I'm not even saying you're doing this wrong, but what I learned over the years, and I've made the mistake, is always put being funny before the agenda. Like, the agenda is good to have, and it's good to want to say what I want to say, or any comedian wants to say, but it's important to not get caught up on stage, at least, in being right. It's like being honest is what's important. And I'm not even saying you did that wrong. I only saw 3 of your jokes. They were funny. The fucking, demographically symbolic was funny. White women getting shot and her not doing anything about it is good. I mean, that's like saying Obama's not doing anything about blacks getting shot. So,
yeah.
Well done.
Thanks. I appreciate that. My next, I'm working on kind of like,
Oh, that wasn't me who hung up on you, actually.
Now that's a great bit.
That was not me.
That's a killer closer.
Oh, God, good luck to you, Ken.
But yeah, you gotta be, you can't, I'm not gonna lie and say that he's bad. He's not bad.
It was all right.
Yeah.
See how happy he got? Oh, he was all like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, usually when you see new guys, we've seen a lot of not young, but newer comedians, and usually they're doing anything to appease the audience. But when you watch it, he's standing up there. It looks like he's been doing it a while. He looks comfortable. He's not doing hacky jokes. Mm-hmm. You know, they're good jokes. They have a punchline.
I agree with you that you should always have the joke come first. I feel like he missed a few opportunities to slide some jokes in there, like the demographically specific. If that's the N-word, have some act outs where you're saying that instead of saying the N-word. Right. You know, like a couple of these demographically specifics were on my lawn today or something like that. Just throw more in.
Right.
More examples.
But that comes with the writing and stuff, like, or just exploring stuff comes with, the more we do it.
Uh-huh.
But believe me, I'm not inclined to like this guy either, but watching that bit, it was like, all right, he's doing what he wants to do, and
that's an example of what the show does. Like, you were open-minded to Ken's stand-up, and you were honest about how you felt about it.
Yeah, I mean, as a comic, I can't watch a comic who I think is doing something that's, like, if a guy, like, I respect this a lot more than I respect the way Cosby was inconsistent. Like, I mean, he's one of the greatest comics of all time. Mm-hmm. And yet, whenever he talked about race, he did it off stage. It was like he was never the same guy.
Right.
Like, Pryor fucking blazed that trail.
Right.
And then Cosby, it would be like, the cake and the but then off stage he had all these views.
Strong opinions and views.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yes.
All right, so well done, Ken Steele.
So we got that, Mark.
Keep doing it.
And then we got the attack in Brussels.
So we had two bombings.
And I was asking what the end game is. And obviously, the Muslims want to, a certain part of the Muslim faith wants to control the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is the end game, but I don't see how that is accomplished without the end of the actual world happening.
Right.
But there is good news, and that is that Volcker got hit with another $25 million fucking dollars.
Really?
$140 million.
They're up to $140 million. They owe the Hulkster.
Nick Denton's worth like $276 million. He's fine.
Did he make all that from the website or from other things?
That I'm not sure of. He did. He's being held personally accountable, I think, for $10 million, and this is just the punitive damages. I don't know about the original suit.
Right.
And AJ Delario, the editor who put it up, is being held accountable in the punitive for $100,000. That's a lot of money when you're just a website editor putting up a story.
Of course.
But it's like these guys, man. They got to be held accountable for fucking for ruining people's private lives.
Yeah.
There's zero news value in watching Hulk Hogan fuck a woman.
It's true.
Well, they're saying just because he was a public figure that we have an interest in that.
And it's a great headline.
But then, I mean, then you see something like that on a website.
You gotta click.
Most of us are clicking.
Of course.
Most of us are clicking.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it right.
Well, yeah, we grew up with the guy.
Right. Yeah, there is a curiosity there. But
I'm nosy, but
I'm glad they got slapped with $140 million they got to worry about now.
Yeah. Oof.
That number that they were talking could have been a lot higher than that. I was surprised they only came in with another $25 million. Weren't they saying it could go up to $500 million or something the last few days? But they ended up just giving it another $25 million for a total of $140. So,
damn. So weird how we punish with money. That's a weird thing.
Yeah, we also reward with it, though.
That's true.
Money's a big thing.
I guess people like money.
My dick would be a lot drier without it.
Yeah. What else is going on, Mark?
Oh, you know.
How was your night?
Good night. Made love to a redhead.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Is that the same one from the Holocaust Museum?
No, different gal. Came out to a show. Had a good time.
And what about the other gal that you were just fingering in the Holocaust Museum?
We're still cool.
Still cool?
Yeah. That's not over. But this was just,
Is there all the ladies understand what's going on here?
No, so thanks for outing me.
Well, you didn't have to offer that up.
That is true.
Well, you know.
How was it being with a redhead?
It was cool. A lot of freckles.
Yeah?
Yeah, good times.
In unusual places?
Yeah, all over. Very pale. A lot of blue veins.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was fun.
But you came out and saw you and you felt like, all right.
Yeah. Did the finger in the butt. Which is always weird because then
which finger?
Her butt.
Okay.
Which one?
Pointer.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you gotta you forget. After you're there just laying there, and then you grab your phone. You're like, probably got shit on my phone now. I forget about that, so now I gotta pure on my phone.
I think it'll be okay.
I'm sure you're fine.
All right.
Smell your phone.
I'm too scared.
Just smell your phone.
All right.
Say you're all right.
It's fine, but they say that your keyboard's the most disgusting thing. The keyboard has more shit on it than, your asshole.
It probably does because, like, when you're shaking hands and then you swipe your phone. Mm-hmm. You go to the bathroom, you swipe your phone, you do all this stuff, you wash your hands, but then you just touch your phone again. And I always put my fingers in my mouth right after I touch my phone.
Me too. I lick them.
All 5 of them.
I don't wash my hands after I pee.
I noticed. Neither of us do that.
Mark doesn't either.
You don't wash your hands after you shit.
I don't wash my hands after I shit either.
That I do, always.
I mean, if I'm a little wild with the toilet paper, then certainly I'll wash my hands.
Yeah, good Lord.
But all that is clean.
Yeah, no,
I start the morning with a nice shower, so, the penis, I think, is the cleanest part on your body.
Yes.
But then you think you wash your hands after you shit, and then you hit the fucking the knob again, now you're back dirty.
Then you're back dirty. But then you're supposed to take the paper towel to turn off the faucets and the paper towel to, to exit the bathroom.
The door handle. Oh, yeah. It's everywhere.
A lot of people around here do it that way. They wash their hands.
Yeah.
And they turn off the faucet, then they dry their hands, then they use that paper towel to get out of the bathroom. I've seen that move.
But don't you feel like if you wash your hands less, you'll get less sick? You want those that immune shit.
There's a balance, though. I like to wash my hands, just not compulsively. I worked in a store, a Caldor, one time, and I didn't know what OCD was back then. And my assistant manager in the store would wash his hands, literally constantly. Like, he just washes his hands all the time.
Were they all red?
I don't remember, but I just remember it being a thing with him, and I didn't realize that he was probably washing away an uncle's penis in his face 40 years earlier.
Right. You think that's where that comes from?
No, I don't know. What you have to clean your dirty self.
Yeah.
Well, I never get sick, and I never wash.
Never get sick? You don't do the flu shots or any of that?
No, nothing. I don't have health care. I haven't had health care in 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you get checkups?
No, nothing.
You just let it go.
I'm riding the pony, baby, all the way into the sunset.
Well, you're still a young man. You can get away with that shit. So, it says Mark has admitted he has herpes. Does he tell these girls beforehand?
What? That's Joe List.
Joe List has the herpes.
I'm clean as a whistle there, homo.
Let's confront this guy. Kyle in Canada.
Hey, Mark, boys.
Hey, man.
Good morning.
Hey.
I swear to God, on an earlier episode, I had you said that you had you had herpes and also HPV as well.
No. I mean, I must have been trying to make a gag. I also probably said I have Lou Gehrig's disease and polio.
Yeah, no, Joe List says that. That was not Mark, but they have a podcast together.
And Joe has said that, right?
Oh, he's quite open about it. And I'm dying to see his dong.
Why?
Just because I want to see what it looks like. Because he'll be like, I got a crazy outbreak. I'm scratching like crazy. And I'm like, let me see it. I just want to see what it looks like in person. Yeah.
Does Joe go ahead and tell all these girls, or is he pretty open with it? Or
he has a girlfriend. I'm sure he's open.
He's engaged, and they're obviously open about everything.
And he just gets outbreaks on his penis.
Yeah, and he's got to go to Planned Parenthood and all that stuff, and get them burned off or frozen off or whatever it is.
What?
Yeah.
Is that what happens with herpes? Or is that more like genital warts or something?
I think you can do both. I think he's got the warts as well.
Oh my God! What was he fucking back in the day?
It's a sad story. Banged this girl on a playground, and
At what age?
He was just like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, I have herpes. He's like, who cares? I just put it in. He was shit faced. Yeah,
and he got it. And now he's just dealing with that shit.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that sucks.
Oh God, look at that.
Is that what? Yeah. And we got the pictures for you. You really want to see that on his dick?
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Really?
I just want to know the deal. In case I ever get it, I want to see what it looks like. How can they throw in a cayenne pepper?
Wow, you can get it in your eye. You could get it in your eye like that on the side?
I heard of a porn star who got it in her eye.
How do you get it in your eye?
Probably
jizzing or...
Oh, dude, that's uncomfortable. I'm guessing...
That's really uncomfortable to look at.
You get cock whipped or whatever, but I mean, the only person I've ever heard of that happening was somebody who is a very... busy porn star.
Very busy.
Fucking a lot of people. I mean, in the business. I mean, in that business, you're fucking so many people.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so Kyle, it's not Mark. It's his podcast partner, possibly. I guess you guys have openly talked about it, so.
Oh, yeah. It's in his act.
Mark has no problem just throwing things out there when he's on with us.
Oh, yeah. So I'd tell you, Kylie.
I stand corrected, but that's just a cold sore in an unfortunate place, really.
Yeah, sure.
Same virus, just in the wrong place.
Exactamundo.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it.
Wear a bag.
Wear a bag. That's good advice.
Yeah. Avoid the clap. Jimmy Dugan. That's good advice.
Very good advice. So yeah, the Hulk Hogan, he gets another $25 million, and did you hear about Olivia Newton-John's lover?
Yes, after 11 years.
Wow,
he finally saw Grease.
This was a crazy story. He went on a fishing trip or whatever, and all of a sudden he was lost at sea. And a lot of people were suspicious at the time.
Yeah.
And now it's turning out that he's been alive these past 11 years, living in Mexico with a new broad.
Whoa, he just flew the coop
on Olivia Newton-John.
Wow.
She was all bummed out, and they were, and now it's looking like he decided to start a new life for himself.
I like this guy. That's old school.
That's crazy. How do you do that?
Hey, Mexico, baby. It's lawless.
But I mean, you can't just jump off the boat. I mean, you can set it up ahead of time. I guess maybe one of your pals is there with a boat to pick you up. But
right.
Do we have details in the story how they think he pulled it off? Travis, do you know?
No, but I know that this isn't the first time that they've assumed that this happened, but this is just another piece of the puzzle.
Right.
That he, withdrew all of his money before this trip.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Yes. So they were suspicious because they're like, wait, why would he take a lot of
for his life savings? Both accounts he emptied.
A lot of money out before going missing. It was $30,000. Then what was it? Unpaid debts totaling more than $30,000 at the time. Wow. Okay.
Damn. Good for him. I'm such a pussy that I relate to this guy. Like, I've quit jobs by lying. I can never just go, I'm quitting. I have to be like, oh, my grandmother died.
Why can't you just quit?
I'm too scared. I don't know.
What kind of jobs?
Like, just
basic jobs?
Basic office jobs.
And you can't just say, I'm out of here?
Yeah, if they go, why are you leaving? I go, I told one lady I will hit the lottery, like I got a big scratch off.
You did not.
Yeah. I told one lady I got a Popeyes commercial.
Right.
And I was like, I don't need to work anymore.
But why did you really want to leave? You just hated the job?
Yeah, I just didn't need it.
Or you got a better job?
Doing better in comedy, so I didn't need the job anymore.
And you didn't want to hurt their feelings or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, man, I couldn't wait to leave jobs.
I couldn't wait either, but I would always have to lie. Breakups, I would always be like, I'm gay now. I'd have to say something.
Did not.
I mean, I'm joking.
Oh,
but,
okay. All right.
You know, I would have to say something else. I couldn't just be like,
give me
I'm
a real one, you said.
You know, I'd be like, I think I'm going to move to San Francisco or something. I keep going back to gay, but I think I'm going to move to Florida.
Right.
And then, then they'd see me next weekend drinking at the bar. It's like, the boat didn't come.
You might want to switch bars at that point.
Yeah, I guess.
Go drink somewhere else for a while.
Yeah.
Switch up locations. If you're going to say I'm not going to...
Yeah. You might want to go into hiding for a little bit in your town.
Yeah, I'm not good with anything parting ways. I can't do. I avoid and I hide.
No one can, though. That's not an easy thing for most.
Okay, some people are good at it. Some people
can't wait to do it.
Yes, I think that's a personality flaw or something.
That's pretty fucked up. We've all had that one boss that has no problem firing you or others around you.
Yeah, like when you're in a restaurant and somebody's smoking and they're like, I want to kick him out. You're like, great, you kick him out.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah.
So Olivia Newton-John's boyfriend who vanished 11 years ago, seen in Mexico. Wow. Secretly living in Mexico with a new lover.
Oof. I wonder if Olivia knew that that's what he was doing.
She must have. Come on.
I guess.
Because they've contacted him over the years, like through an attorney. They have found out that he was like living down there and he didn't want to be bothered.
Right.
He didn't owe that much money though. Like he owed like
really.
$30,000 to the IRS and $8,000 in child support at the time.
Yeah. But that's a big nut, but it's
Olivia makes that in a night.
It's doable though.
Does she?
Yeah, I'm sure. Doing live shows.
She used to be a big star.
Yeah, go out and sing Xanadu. You got to pay child support. I'll eat your ass. Go sing Xanadu.
Let's get
Want to hear a little Xanadu for this story?
I certainly do.
Yeah,
really?
Xanadu.
It's a wonderful song.
Oh my God. Was it her last hit?
Yeah, there was Let's Get Physical.
That was hot.
That
was a big one for...
Xanadu on fleek.
What is this? This is not it. Wait.
I don't remember it starting like this.
Oh.
She was smoking. Right?
Yeah, she was lovely.
She's so fresh and clean.
Yeah. Yeah, and the weird thing is she was known for sneezing and shitting diuretically down the back of both of her thighs.
Really?
Yeah, it was really a weird thing, weird reputation.
I'd still get in there.
Yeah.
Just don't touch my phone.
Yeah. In Greece, they had to keep stopping production because she would shit down the back of her legs diuretically.
Oh, man.
Someone had to clean that up?
Yeah.
On set?
They would make her do it with baby wipes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then they would go for another take?
Yes, they would.
And then it would happen again?
Yes, they would.
Over and over?
Yeah, Hopelessly Devoted to You took 41 takes.
41 takes?
Wow.
Yeah, she had food poisoning.
What a horrible song.
This was a big fucking hit, but that explains why that guy went to Mexico.
Yeah.
She couldn't take one more. I bet whenever it came on the radio, she would put it up and hum it and dance around the house. And he's like, enough with this bitch, I'm leaving.
The name of his boat was Xana Don't.
She probably didn't even wait for it to be on the radio. She just probably played it in her house all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know how you get that done, though.
I don't know, but I like it.
It's a fishing trip. You obviously have to make your move.
Yeah, I'm sure he had scuba gear packed and all this shit ready.
Well, that's what I want to know. Like, how did he pull it off? Was it scuba gear? Was it a friend that had a boat in the area?
Right.
Did he stay on the actual boat and make it look like he wasn't on the boat anymore and then snuck out after they docked again?
Did he prop up a fake guy in the boat, with a little hat on?
A little Weekend at Bernie's action?
Yeah, like in The Revenant on the horse,
Oh, wow, yes. That's
I
what
never
I
saw
wanted.
that.
Whoa! Sorry. You got to see it.
It's good, right?
I loved it.
So I don't. I want to know what they think he did.
Yeah, this would be a great special of the week or whatever, movie of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Do they still do that, movie of the week?
No. Oh, God.
I don't think so.
How dare you?
What an old lady question. What's the movie of the week? I love those programs.
The movie of the week.
Yeah.
Do you want a Werther's original?
You're too young to know about the movie of the week.
Well, Lifetime, whatever, like those were fun. I like the movie of the week.
Right. Do you remember the Sunday morning Abbott and Costello movie? I used to love that so much. 11:30 it would start and end at 1 with commercials, and we would go to church and come back, and that was what was on. That was what you'd watch on Sunday morning.
Fun.
Abbott and Costello was always on when we were growing up.
And you never knew which one was on, but Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein was always a huge thrill when you realized it was that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of Three Stooges. I remember watching that.
Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello, some Laurel and Hardy from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guy that had genital warts burned off, but he just ran away. That's got to be brutal.
Oh. Yeah, I can't imagine.
That sounds awful.
We're very lucky. And we might have it. It might just be dormant, so you never know.
Might just pop up one day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think you would know by now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I hope so, but I'm still...
If I got them, I would just cut them off with a razor. Pour alcohol on it.
Put alcohol.
Slice it off the way you slice garlic.
Like in Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Nice and thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Throw it in a pan. Throw it in a pan, cook it.
It would melt in the pan.
Remember the bionic penis guy? He finally lost his virginity. We had this story about a month ago. He was supposed to lose his virginity, and then I think he was in a car accident. Was that the case? I think.
No, he had childhood injury when he was a kid. Oh, then he had,
they set him up with his bionic penis to lose his virginity, and then I think he was involved in a car accident, so he had to put it on hold. That's how it went down, Travis?
Yeah.
And he got a lady of the evening to finally take his virginity.
Yeah, but read the article. They had to delay it by a night because his penis wouldn't work.
Why wasn't it working?
He's probably nervous.
No, it was a mechanical issue.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No.
What?
You got to go into the fucking garage, fix your cock, and come out.
Sparks everywhere?
Yeah.
It was a mechanical issue.
Oh, no. Poor guy.
He's got one of those that you just pump up, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't pump.
Oh, it's like when you buy a daughter a car for her birthday and it doesn't start.
Oh, right. Or you buy her a pony and it dies.
Pony's legs are limp.
Yeah.
The pair met for the first time in a central London hotel and spent a few days getting to know each other before they had sex.
Few days?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jeez Louise.
Because she's not going to be returning, right? Wasn't it sort of a lady of the evening?
Yes.
Setback saw Mo's bionic penis malfunction, with one side of the pump failing to inflate properly on the big night.
Oh, man, the best line, if it doesn't work, that old Nintendo, hey, blow on it.
So he's got one of those pumping things, and only one side was all pumped up. That's got to look a little strange. And then how did he fix it? He had to wait a day? What, he had to go to the hospital or to a doctor to fix it?
I have no idea.
I think a Con Ed guy showed up.
Yeah, he had to make an appointment.
He had to make an appointment.
Guy came between 2 and 4.
Very nice.
Wow. They wouldn't cover it because it's a pre-existing condition.
Right.
It's cosmetic.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
man.
The pair were forced to delay the big moment. Mo said it was frustrating, but I'd already waited 20 years, so one more day didn't hurt.
I'll say that's pretty good doctor care, though. If all of a sudden half your dick's getting hard, and like, all right, we'll have you fixed up by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's pretty impressive.
I can't get a fucking mouth guard made within less than a month. And this guy's having half his cock fixed in 12 hours.
Charlotte usually charges $160 an hour for her services.
Ugh, what does she look like?
Yeah.
But waived her fee for Mo.
Ooh.
Well, no, she didn't want to get arrested. She didn't want to waive the fee.
Is that her?
That's Charlotte, and that's Mo.
He probably paid for her time for those couple days she was there. I'm going to guess.
But see, I feel like if you're paying for the time, she should have to be also interesting.
Yeah.
You know, not just hot. You should have some stories and a couple knock-knock jokes.
We had a penis doctor in here last week. He was terrific.
Oh, you had him in?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd he say? Anything good? Any juice?
It was fascinating.
Oh, man. Do you think about getting it?
Huh?
The Bionic?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I think he's more about giving you girth.
Oh, that's right. I could use some girth, I'll tell you.
You can do some girth, so
Yeah.
maybe you want to see this guy. He's got before and afters on his website.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm all length. I got no girth.
So I have a nice combination.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well.
I have neither.
It's kind of crazy. We all know what Jimmy's penis looks like.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And taste.
How many? Well, what?
Well, I'm saying,
You don't?
No, no.
Damn it.
All right, here we go. We're going to go to Bob in Cleveland. We're going to have Jimmy Carr in a few minutes, by the way, too. We should break before that. What's going on, Bob, in Cleveland?
Hi, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Well, you guys want to know about burning genital warts off?
Well, I don't know if we want to know, but we have you now, so we might as well. We don't want to be rude or anything.
Well, let's put it this way. They've got to take a needle and stick it in your penis, wherever the warts are at, to numb it up. Then once it's all numb, they go through and they take basically like a wood burner and burn them off.
Wood burner.
What?
It's electronically burnt off, and you just smell burning flesh.
I have a funny line. That's going to leave a mark. Like every fucking rom-com promo.
Right. Wow.
Honestly, after it's done, it takes about 3-4 weeks to heal up, and it pretty much all is gone. You can't really even tell they were ever there.
And you're back in business.
Back in business until they pop back up again.
Damn. How many times a year do they pop up?
It usually takes a couple of years before they come back.
Oh, that's pretty good.
All right. You can live with that.
This is what happens when you get single about in your 40s and start banging 20-something-year-olds.
No bag.
Good boy.
No bag.
They don't protect you anyway from that.
What?
Warts you can still get, I think, with a condom. I believe.
How is that possible?
So, what do you do?
Because skin on skin, like the condom doesn't cover your balls, doesn't cover other parts.
Oh, fuck
Gotcha.
me.
They get up by the pubic bone and everything like that. So, yeah, the condom only do so much. Although, I wasn't using a bag. I was fixed, so it was okay.
I have no experience with genital warts, luckily.
Yeah. Thank God my dick is long enough to where I don't have to
have other skin touching.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, buddy. We're going to go to Joe in Staten Island. Joe.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Time.
All right, man.
She was there. All right, am I on?
Yeah, let's go, Joe.
How you doing, guys? I want to tell you about the crazy experience I had with getting genital warts burnt off my penis. Wow. What happened was I caught it along with genital herpes. I woke up one morning and my dick looked like it had bumps all over it. By the next day, it was blisters, and then when that went away, these ugly brown things started forming that looked like cauliflowers. And the itching was incredible, and they were spreading because of the itching. So I had to go to a dermatologist, and what he did was he told me he had to burn them off, and he had to burn them deep to get the root. So naturally, when I got undressed, and I see him coming at me with the gigantic needle with the finger pieces in it and everything, that's how big it is.
Yeah.
My penis was like shrinking like a turtle and trying to
hide.
Yes. And so he calls this young, really nice-looking nurse in to stretch out my penis with her hand.
Come on.
I can see that.
He injects my Johnson with a huge hypodermic needle, waits a minute for the numbness agent to kick in, and then just starts with this miniature blowtorch to go to each one and burn it, I'm telling you, deeply below the skin to where I had, like, craters.
Oh, boy.
Healed.
I feel like
I'm more fascinated by the fact that the guy had a hot young woman in there to help him out.
Yeah,
with
like
the procedure,
like a balloon animal expert.
It was so embarrassing because she's cupping my balls.
I don't know if this is... Yeah, okay.
She after my dick out by pulling on the head, you know what I mean? And I'm like smelling the smoke and trying not to look at her like I'm humiliated because this is when all this shit first started happening.
It's just really fucking...
It's getting to you?
Tough.
Yeah, I gotta come.
Yeah, I'm saying, man.
But why wouldn't the doctor himself be pulling on your helmet? Why did he have to, like, ask for the hot chick to come in? That part of the story is very suspicious.
Right.
Why is because I guess he had to concentrate on, he didn't want to burn the shaft. He just wanted to try to get the area that had the whatchamacallit on it.
Thank
the
you.
wart.
All right. Goodbye, mister.
Jimmy's
all right, the wart. Sir, we got it.
The wart.
Sir, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Why?
And the worst part,
Sir.
I gave it to the girl who was my girlfriend at the time, who became my wife, and I'm now divorced from. And she's trying to sue me because at the same time she contracted, I didn't know I had that either. The HPV virus usually comes along with it, like
right.
And she's suing you for that?
like a beer after a shot of scotch. What? Yeah.
So you gave her the war.
How could she sue you for that? That's most women have that, don't they? HPV?
No, they could contract it,
No.
but that's one way of contracting it. And she's saying that I put her in jeopardy to get cervical cancer.
Damn.
Oh, well, good luck. Oof.
All right, Joe. Hell of a story,
Arguably the
sir.
worst phone call I've ever gotten.
Why?
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know. Ken Steele was pretty bad.
Why does that one bother you so much?
just the smell of smoke while your warts are being burned off.
Your penis?
Oh, yuck.
With the hot girl stretching it out so the doctor could get the needle in there. Now,
God!
wow, they allow this on YouTube?
Do you know how much that would hurt?
Genital warts, NYC, and then it's the phone number.
Is that being frozen? That's not burned.
Okay.
What the?
That guy's got weird long blonde
freeze the skin underneath the wart.
Oh, he's freezing.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like if we keep watching this, they're going to appear on us.
He's freezing the thing. It's turning very white, the wart itself.
Wow.
Nice big freeze underneath the wart. Normal skin also, and then we switch it
Oh,
out.
this guy loves freezing warts off penises.
Yeah.
You can just tell.
Oh,
all right, the whole thing's frozen. Then what do? You just pull that mass off?
No, you just walk around so no one can see your warts. You just get a big white frozen thing on it.
Right.
Keep your cock in the freezer. I had a.
I don't know if we need to continue on the vaginal surgery chat. What the fuck? Wow, that was a fucking surprise. Oh my god.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
That video that popped up. Oh god, I just spit all over all the monitors. What the? What?
Say, lots of people get them.
Oh,
and
God.
genital warts.
Wow.
Go back and show that again.
No!
That was a surprise.
Months. I can tell that it's getting worse as I'm leaving.
They allow this on YouTube?
About it.
Worse.
Christina, hi, good morning. How are you doing? What can we do for you
Where's that
today?
thing again?
Oh, I think I got piles. I'm venting a really painful.
What's a pile?
Yeah, why'd you fast forward? She was going to explain what...
Okay. All right, Christina. You haven't got piles. What you have got, I'm afraid, is quite a significant anal warts. Okay, they're not the worst I've ever seen, but you've definitely got warts. So don't worry.
She took it in the ass.
Very common. We see something like 70,000 new cases of warts in the UK every year. So,
God, she's so casual. The lady's just laying on her
Do you know
side.
how bad that must smell?
What makes
Because she's a fat lady with ass warts.
She's maybe a 3. Maybe.
What? You're even considering it?
Maybe a 3. And she's just on her side, just all casual. Now this guy's going to take a look.
Gorgeous man is in her ass.
It's really, it stings a lot.
It will.
It's worth it to go to the...
It's worth it getting it in the ass? Is that what she was getting at?
I don't know.
Thanks for watching my channel.
That was upsetting.
Fuck you.
I feel different.
Her asshole, it looked like a mouth with 3 teeth in it. Three baby fleshy teeth.
Yeah, too much pudding.
Oh my god.
That was awful because the warts were rubbery and hanging. They were long warts.
All right.
Like you could literally wrap each wart around your finger.
We were done, and then that was the next video that popped up.
I got the chills.
If she sat on your face, you would literally feel her warts, like on the top of your nose, around your fucking cheek.
Tapping.
It was like that turkey neck thing, that rooster thing.
And you know what? This relates to our next guest, Jimmy Carr, because he turned me on to Most Embarrassing Bodies, and I believe that was the doctor from Most Embarrassing Bodies.
Is he here yet?
I'm sure he'll be here any minute.
He's also got anal warts.
Wow, man. I wasn't expecting that.
You want a break so we can piss?
Yeah, in a couple minutes. I was okay with the doctor freezing off the wart from the penis.
And that was a good time.
Then that video ended, and fast forward to this ugly lady. You got to say it, an ugly lady on her side, brutal. And then the doctor just spreads her cheeks.
All right, enough.
Spreads her cheeks for the goodness. I was like, you want to see the goodness again?
I can't do the goodness.
Come on, one more look at the goodness before we go to break. Come on, Mark.
Oh, God.
What are you made of?
The way the lady opens her asshole.
Yeah. Oh, that was the part. It was like watching the second tower go down.
she's pulling down her pants. Push play on this.
I can't.
All right, now she's on the examining table, and she's on her side, and there's the reveal. Oh, my God.
You haven't got piles. What you have got, I'm afraid, is quite a significant anal warts.
A significant what of warts?
You've definitely got warts. You know, so don't worry that...
Look, I know they go to school for this stuff, but you still got to be like, oh, my God.
Yeah, I know. She's a pro.
How do you ever get used to seeing that in an asshole?
You have Stonehenge in your asshole, miss.
Right.
Oh, God almighty.
What's the next video after this?
Let's go. It's Jimmy Carr. How about that?
All right.
Reasons not to have sex.
Look up the Blue Waffle. What do you think? We're fucking rookies, John and Queens? You've seen the Blue Waffle, right, Mark?
No. Is that a restaurant downtown?
You've never seen the Blue Waffle?
No.
All right.
I've been on the Blue Oyster.
Jimmy's not here yet, Carr, so we can continue a little bit. You've never seen prepare yourself for the Blue Waffle.
Is it in more anal
Prepare yourself for the Blue Waffle.
Oh, what is that?
That's the Blue Waffle.
Oh, that's a mouth.
That's the Blue Waffle.
That's not it.
No, that's not it officially. That's the Blue Waffle right there. See where I'm pointing?
The bottom.
That is the official Blue Waffle. Yeah. Yes.
That probably smells bad.
Yes, that is the Blue Waffle.
Another delightful text from Dr. Steve. Piles or hemorrhoids, which I know. People with fungating anal warts often think they're hemorrhoids.
Why is it called?
It's a fungating anal wart. He might be driving.
Oh, he might be driving.
What's a fungating anal wart?
I don't know.
Fungate. Sounds like a bunch of politicians on vacation. Right. There's a problem.
I would assume it's starting to look mushroomy if it's fungating.
How do you look at that and go, it looks all right today?
There you go. It looks like it starts mushrooming.
Fungating. Turns becoming fungi.
Yes.
I'm getting the willies here.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, that Blue Waffle.
Look up Blue Waffle. I don't know what the Blue Waffle disease actually is.
Oh, God.
All right. John started this. He thinks we're rookies, like we've never seen the Blue Waffle. Of course we've seen the Blue Waffle, John.
Hey, Opie, oh my God, what an honor to talk to you and Jim. What's up, guys?
What's up? Sir. Do you know what the Blue Waffle is, though?
I do not. A buddy of mine was like, yo, check this out.
Yeah.
I do want to turn you guys on to one thing. Have you ever played Orgasm Girl?
Orgasm Girl? What's that?
It's a game where you got to rape a chick while she's sleeping.
Was that Mattel or Parker Brothers?
Just Google Orgasm Girl, and it's this college chick with this creepy music in the background. You could, pull down her panties, rub her clit, rub her nipples. It's really fucked up.
What? All right.
I don't understand. I don't know what this is.
Is this real?
This game is not suitable for people under 18. All right, we're looking at this.
Yeah. You can push or pull down or take off. All
right, we're starting the game.
Oh, I see. It's a video game.
Okay. Asian girl.
I thought it was like a game show.
Oh, then you can...
Oh, there's a little hand. This is creepy. There's a little hand that just goes over and scrapes it. Pull down skirt.
You could click pull down, all right?
Sleeping
so they pull
girl.
Down the skirt.
It's like Japanimation, like one of those things.
Right.
Now, rubber twat, and she'll moan and wet her panties.
All right, we're rubbing the twat.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Too bad.
Wait, don't wake her up. Look in the bottom right-hand corner. Don't wake her up.
Oh, you can't wake her up?
No, this is awful. Wow. Ashley, the fucking...
Jeez.
The weird Asian cartoon. Can the Asians stop with the weird fucking sexual cartoons?
Yeah.
Paint a rabbit running somewhere and having fun.
Are you a little annoyed by this?
It stinks.
What does it stink?
The mouth is... There's no mouth. They want someone who doesn't talk.
Paul, are you actually doing this, or is this a video video of somebody else doing it. You're doing it,
you're
so
a
you
pro.
did it wrong. No, he did it wrong.
Doing it wrong.
All right, now.
Hold the rattle.
What happened to Tetris?
All right, pull down the panties. Hold on, John. We're doing this. All right, pull down the panties. All right, Paul has pulled down the panties in this thing. We'll tweet this out for the people. Do you know where the clit is, Paul? The clit's over there.
That's the upper thigh, Paul.
What are you doing? That's her belly button.
Yeah. Let's talk about rubbing clits, Paul.
Shoot it.
He can't rub the area.
Oh, you're awful.
Oh,
What are you doing?
Obama's hand over fucking Castro's shoulder look better than yours does rubbing that pussy.
Look how hard
That's
you're rubbing
terrible.
the pussy. See? You were unable to give Ashley an orgasm before she woke up.
You're a terrible pussy rubber.
You see how aggressively Paul's rubbing, and he's using the palm of his hand. What?
I know, he's awful.
I was clicking. Nothing was happening.
No, you weren't.
No, I don't. I think you don't have good technique.
You kept trying to wrap it into a fist and go up and down. He's gonna be up.
Yeah, all right. John in Queens, we got to go. We got Jimmy Carr checking in. He's a big star. All right.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to go back to that website and teach Paul a thing or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stinks at rubbing the clit. Jim Norton hitting the road this weekend. Portland and Denver.
Yes, on Friday and Saturday, and then Philly, Delaware next week, and a whole bunch, Vermont, Northampton, a whole bunch of other places coming up.
All right,
I'm
very
gonna
good. And Mark Norman, what do you got?
I'm at Zany's in Nashville. A lot of stuff in May, and then I'm at Newport, Kentucky, Funny Bone, and then I'm in Melbourne. I'm in LA. I'm all over the road.
All right, you got a little time off before you'll be back in to really promote those gigs properly. It's Mark Norm on Twitter, and Mark has a pretty good Instagram. I really dig your pictures of New York City. You're always kind of doing some street shots.
Appreciate it. I just put up a Horace and Pete pic because I was on the one on Saturday.
All right.
Yeah, so check that out, folks. And Louis in tomorrow.
Wait, huh?
Isn't he?
Louis Anderson.
Oh, shit, my bad.
We got Louis Anderson from Baskets in tomorrow. But what's your Instagram?
At Mark Norman, to one word.
Yeah, it's different than your Twitter. So, yeah, check out Mark Norman on Twitter, on Instagram as well. All right, Jimmy Carr outside the studio. Quick break. We'll be back. Stay there. Very excited. We got Mark Norman in the studio. Of course, Jim Norton, and for the first time, Jimmy Carr.
Well, I cannot believe your luck. Things are really turning around for this station.
And we already did 10, 15 minutes of material, and we probably should have waited.
Yeah.
And did it on the air. Yeah. Because he already gave us great stuff.
Well, I mean, let's manage expectations here.
Yeah.
There's a British man in the studio. We'll talk about things.
All right. Fair enough. I saw Funny Business on Netflix, and I told him that outside the door. He didn't believe me. He thought I was just making that up.
Well, I thought it was very nice of you to say, but obviously you've got no option when someone comes on your radio in the morning.
Right.
I mean, for a comedian, this is early. You know, you got no option other to say it was a good show.
Nope. I explained it to you. Because if I saw the special and I didn't like it, I would have said, Jimmy Carr, I haven't seen your special yet. I'm looking forward to checking it out eventually.
Oh, yeah.
That's how that works.
Sorry,
I have not seen it.
Straight in there with a little bit.
But, however, I don't watch anyone's special. I've seen Jimmy perform, and he's fucking hilarious.
It's the first comedy special I've seen in a while, because I do avoid it myself. Unless, our friends have one out, I got to support them. But I've heard
to avoid it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why do you?
Because there's so many of them out there, so I pick and choose. And I've heard a lot about you, but I realized I never saw one of your sets before. I've seen a joke here and there on the internet, and so I was like, let me check out the whole thing on Netflix, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, the Netflix thing is very kind of you to say. It's a weird thing where it goes global on one day, like
crazy.
I think there's 3 countries in the world where Netflix don't operate. Mm-hmm. It's a good way of judging yourself. If anyone's listening in North Korea. or Syria, take a good hard look at yourself. Yeah, you don't get my my Netflix special, and there's a reason for that. You've been very badly behaved.
Is it only 3 countries?
I think it's 3 countries in the world that they're not in.
What are they?
So it's North
Korea is obvious.
North Korea, because there's I think it's Syria, and I'm trying to think of what the other one is. It might be Iran, but it could be
that might be possible.
How many guesses?
But it might be China. It might be
China might be in there.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a huge market.
Yeah.
Well, they just bootlegged it, but they spell it FLICKS. Like they don't. Their courts are never going to back you up. Fucking
the laugh. Yeah, they've got. Yeah, I've got an annoying
I'm
laugh.
so glad that you brought up the laugh during your Funny Business comedy special. You acknowledge your laugh is a little strange.
I've got an odd laugh. It's a weird thing, though, because you do this for a living. So if I sit at the back of the cellar, I was at the cellar last night watching a set at the back of the room, and if I really laugh, it kind of pulls focus.
Yeah.
Because it's such I've got a weird, I laugh on an in, not an out, so it's a weird honking goose.
Yeah.
Of a laugh. It's awful. Awful.
It's
grating noise.
It's like an owl or something.
Yeah.
Very owl-like.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm so very wise.
But I started noticing the laugh, and then you brought it up on your special, and you made it hilarious, obviously. But I told you just before we turned on the mics that you sent me down a rabbit hole. So not only was I enjoying your comedy, you were talking about a show in England called Most Embarrassing Bodies.
Oh, Embarrassing Bodies. This is...
Embarrassing Bodies,
it's
okay.
just a phenomenal piece of television. So this, for people that don't know the show, have you explained it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so it's, people go in and they see a doctor, and obviously the subtext of the show is these are poor people that don't have private medical care. We've got a great national health service in the UK, but you have to wait. And if it's a non-emergency procedure, so if you have, whatever you were talking about in the break, if you have awful genital warts, Opie has terrible genital warts.
Whoa.
Well, that's
what? So what? Something to be ashamed of.
So if you have a problem, you can go on this TV show, and the subtext is they will treat you that day. They'll treat you straight, but you have to show everyone your junk on TV and go, yeah, this is not great.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So I just started watching episodes one after another. They had one girl, a young girl that had 32 double K boobs, and the straps were making sores in her shoulders, and she couldn't keep under the boob clean. So there were all sorts
of people, guys listening go, yeah, I love big boobs. Big. That's my absolute thing. You never hear the downside.
Yeah.
The sweaty underboob, the sores on the shoulders.
Yeah.
The hardship.
And some infections under the boobs. And then, that's from the show right there. Guys checking their testicles for tumors.
Oh, wow.
I
see that in the spa in my gym a lot.
I've told you that is not a gym. That's a club. You've got to stop going there. You don't fit in.
Yeah, there's no weights.
And then the doctor... It's free weights, right? It's free weights. That guy's lifting that thing. He's doing cardio on there.
Yeah, he's helping that guy do push-ups over his mouth.
This is actually... There's the laugh. And there they are, just showing their balls on a TV show in England.
But they're covering their dicks. It must be a weird technicality, like where they can show the part that they're doing something with. But they all get their hands over their cocks.
I guess, but in America, they certainly wouldn't show that on regular TV. And then the young woman, they're like, well, can we see your breasts? And you're like, as a viewer, like, yes, of course we want to see. And then she just shows her giant tits on TV.
It does. It's kind of the antidote to every other piece of television. In terms of every other bit of TV, you see someone with even the geeky character, even the guy that's the geek in a sitcom that lives next door that the girls don't like, has got a six-pack.
Yeah.
And looks ripped and doesn't have an ounce of fat and everything looks perfect.
Yeah.
And then you watch this and go, you know what? I'm fine.
Yeah.
I got my shit together. I'm going to be okay.
Well, that's in the last X amount of years. Like years ago, like the weird characters were kind of like Lenny and Squiggy were ugly guys, were weird looking dudes. Schneider from What's Happening, like these are
Urkel.
Yeah, I mean, but they've gotten, it seems like, better looking, but they were always kind of douchey, but it seems like in the last 15 or 20 years, they've gotten progressively better looking.
Yeah, the casting people they had a thing last week in the news in the UK about it was casting calls for women. It was just kind of flagging up the inherent misogyny of show business. But it had like one casting call was like, it's a girl past her prime, between 23 and 28. What now? She's 23. Yeah, the old left on the shelf.
Yeah,
right over the hill.
Hey, did you know Jimmy Savile?
I met him. Yeah,
you did.
I met him. He came and did a show.
That was a pedo reference because he was doing he said between 23 and 28. The first thing I thought was pedo, and then Jimmy Savile. So he's a very famous British TV icon.
He was. I mean, when you look at him, the difficult thing is explaining Jimmy Savile to Americans because when you look at him, you go, "Yes, well, he's dressed as a paedophile."
It's pretty obvious to us.
And he looks like a paedophile, but we didn't know. He was like. He's our Cosby, I suppose, is the thing. But the numbers are phenomenal.
Off the charts.
I don't want to get into kind of baseball statistics with you guys, but I mean, this guy makes Cosby look like Bill Cosby was.
He really he molested a lot of kids, right? He was like a real fucked up guy.
Also, well, I mean, it was a cradle to the grave service. It was from very young children to the dead.
What?
To the actual dead, right?
To the actual dead. He was wearing a ring on television with an eye in it. You know, with a nice piece of costume jewellery. Turned out to be someone's eye. Someone's glass eye.
Come on.
Someone's glass eye he'd stolen from the morgue that he had the keys to for some reason.
What?
He raised a fortune for charity. It's really, people are really conflicted. When the story first came out, people so didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
They were just, hands over their ears, just trying not to pay attention.
There's the jewelry. You can look it up online.
How'd they find out?
We'll tweet
'Cause it was
that out.
after he died. Like, this didn't happen. He lived
died.
a scandal-free life.
There was a state funeral sort of thing. There was a big thing in Leeds. There was a big procession. It made the news. I think he did an awful lot for charity. He did a lot for police charities and managed to, I don't know. I mean, just somehow people didn't want to hear that. And he preyed on the vulnerable. I mean, a classic kind of Catholic priest. Let's prey on the vulnerable and people that aren't.
Was he a priest or no?
No.
No. Okay, he was just
He did a children's show. Now, why didn't anyone come forward? I mean, when you had
people
that
did.
many,
That's the scandal. Is people came forward and said, "Oh, he did a bad thing to my child," and people went, "No, it's fine." I'm sure your child's just confused. It was just like a classic. The Catholic Church were there for so long before the Boston Globe and those kids from Philadelphia kind of.
And that's why victims don't come forward, because then a lot of times no one believes you.
What finally broke the like with Cosby? It was Hannibal's bit, and then
it was a documentary maker on. I think it was on. There's a news channel called ITV, and this guy wrote this journalistic piece, and he interviewed, I think, 4 women that said they'd been assaulted by him, and they just whoever the editor was of that show went, "Yeah, no, we'll put this out. I think this looks a legitimate piece of news, and this looks like." These girls aren't in it for the money, and they're saying something bad happened, and he put it out, and then there was just a flood of people came forward and went, "Oh no, that was me. Wow. And then as a result of this, loads of other stuff from the 70s has now come out. So off the back of it, they've gone, hang on, if he was doing that, who else was doing a bad thing? So it's become it's become something of a witch hunt. I mean, albeit of guilty people, but it's become like, we're not going to let anyone else ever get away with it, because we let this guy died with impunity.
Were there other people that were famous or well-liked that all of a sudden were...
Yeah, another guy called Rolf Harris, who was a beloved Australian sort of British entertainer, who it turns out had been interfering with people.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Was he a pedo or a rapist or just
yeah, both, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you could put him in both categories, yeah.
Unbelievable. Wow.
And Jimmy Savile, I only know because of this. Like, I never heard of him while he was alive. Like, there's a lot of...
We didn't know about him in the States.
He's a guy that sort of invented being a DJ.
Oh, great.
Very early on. He had no talent, but he was able to be a DJ. No offense or anything.
No, thank God he existed.
But no, he used to go he kind of in the early days of like rock and roll records came to the UK, and he was like going, I don't play an instrument, but people will come and hear me play records in a hall.
Sure.
And the kids will come and they'll pay to get in. So
that's how we all start, and you realize, oh my God, anyone could fucking do this. So then you hope that if you start talking and then blow off the music, then maybe you get a career for yourself.
Yeah.
But very early on, I'm like, this is stupid. Anyone could just fucking go on the radio and play it. Oh, well, we have a lot of music jocks here at Sirius XM. I should shut my mouth, but
yeah, I got I got my fingers crossed for you. I think this could work.
I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm hoping. We used to do a bit called "What the hell is that?" I was just finishing up the embarrassing bodies thing.
Oh, the embarrassing bodies. We would encourage people to go and have a watch. Feel better about yourself.
It's all over YouTube, and we did the bit where these guys would come in. We'd have the doctors, and they would come in with such weird stuff. One guy, I remember, he would only sweat on half of his face after he ate chicken wings.
Really?
Only half his face would sweat really bad, and the other side would be dry. I don't remember exactly what they told him he had, but he was
an asshole. We determined
he was gonna live. But that's how Jimmy quit smoking.
It was
doing our "What the hell is that" bit.
2001. It was on. We were on the regular radio in the afternoon, and one of the guys came in. He had like a bump in his mouth, and he thought it was mouth cancer. And we had 3 doctors in, and they told him they thought that's what it was. And it turned out not to be. We found out a year later, but the look on his face when he thought he had mouth cancer, like that. Okay, what do I do? Him trying to hold it together. I'm like, that's what it looks like when you find out you have mouth cancer. Like, that's the reaction you have. And I had one more cigarette. I was going to quit. I'm like, I'm going to quit after this pack. And Anthony said, "Oh, just fucking throw the pack out." He's just so disgusted with my weakness. So I went and had one more cigarette in the hallway.
And that was it.
And
you never looked back.
From the cellar got me, she took me right down to the store and got me the patch. That was December of 2001.
What a nice lady.
She had quit too. Esty was a big smoker, and then she had stopped.
So she understood.
Yeah. So she's like, get the patch. Like, she walked me right down to get me on it. And that was when you could still smoke in the Comedy Cellar.
Right.
And I forgot, like, how awful that room used to be with cigarettes.
We used to... It's a weird thing now that they're banning the vaping. thing.
Yeah.
Because they're saying, well, people vaping is encouraging, it's normalizing smoking.
Now they're just being thought police instead of just fucking.
I think the vaping thing they should just encourage. I think it looks a little bit sci-fi. It looks like how I imagine the future should be. We never got the hoverboards properly, but this is good.
Electronic smoking is awesome.
Yeah, I don't care if you vape around me. Who cares?
No.
Let them vape if they want.
Has anyone got into smoking through vaping yet?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't know, but if they have, who cares? It's not my business as long as I don't have to smell it. I don't care what they do.
Right. Yeah, I don't care either. So
yeah, that's just thought policing. That's saying, well, we don't want you to encourage other people. It's just not our jobs to do that.
Right. You've had controversy there, Jimmy Carr.
Me?
With your jokes.
No.
With your jokes have gotten you in trouble.
I got in trouble I don't mind getting in trouble when it's like a bad joke, when it's like a joke that's edgy, that's like feels like, I did a joke about our armed forces, maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago. So the joke was, I won't work on radio in the morning, but the joke was, our young men coming back from Afghanistan, limbs blown off by roadside bombs, it's a disgrace. But on the upside, we are going to rule at the Paralympics. was the gag. And it's kind of a truism and a thing. And I wrote it down I was like visiting, like I'm the Queen, but I was down doing a visit with injured servicemen. And I was sitting around with a couple of guys and I said that and they laughed. And I thought, well, if they laugh, I bet my audience will laugh.
Yeah.
Because that dark gallows humour. But like complaints about that, I'm fine with. I did a joke. I went on early evening television, like to promote the new tour in England, this thing called The One Show. Went on there. And I literally said this. They said, oh, tell us a joke. And I had I've got very little clean material.
Yeah.
And so so tell us a joke. I went, I'll tell you I've got to be quick. I said dwarf shortage.
Right.
Which is the shortest joke I ever wrote. Yeah. Dwarf shortage.
Yeah.
Who could be offended? We got complaints.
Yeah. That's what I was reading about.
Insane.
Morning.
Yeah. We got 7 complaints. Well, 6. One of them fell asleep.
And they said you did violate.
What'd you violate?
Some what was that?
Is that like a hate crime now? Is it?
They said,
I wouldn't mind, but I mean, dwarves actually look up to me.
You broke broadcasting rules.
A breach of the broadcasting code.
What?
Yeah, it's like weird. In Britain, they'll show tits and they'll show like that lady's open asshole at the wards and certain language. But then there's certain things where you're offending people, which is considered really like a break of the rules.
I find it a very odd thing that who would take the time to. I mean, my joke on that was, if you're offended by that joke, grow up. But it does seem like an odd thing that you would take the time to actually write in and complain and go, yes, I'm offended,
right.
And someone needs to know that I'm offended. Just. I'm not for everyone. Don't watch it.
They said the joke was offensive, did break broadcasting rules, but they said this. We found Jimmy Carr's comments, which attempted to derive humor from the medical condition of dwarfism, were capable of causing considerable offense. Wow. Although one of the presenters made an apology, we considered it was not sufficient to mitigate the offense caused by Mr. Carr's remarks.
Wow, at least you can be the bigger man.
Thank you. Very nice. Very nice.
But what happened with that? They just
nothing. I mean, there's like I don't really know. I mean, they sort of
weren't fined or anything.
No, it's like they complained and they're upset, and you kind of go, well, and I'm always sorry that they're upset. I'm sorry that they're offended or they didn't see the funny side. But I just sort of think, well, I mean, if you're a dwarf, if you have that condition, presumably you've heard a couple of gags before.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what school you went to where people just went, oh, it's fine. He's just a lot smaller than us.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And wouldn't you want to be treated like a human?
Yeah.
Like, we make fun of each other.
Right.
It's weirder to not do it, to me.
I never really thought of treating dwarves like humans, but yeah, it's a good thought. It's an interesting... Yeah, I suppose they are in a way.
Yeah, Mark, you're liberal.
Yeah.
The dwarf shows in America do great. A lot of people love watching the dwarf shows.
You know Brad?
Brad Williams.
I do Brad Williams.
We've had him in. And he goes for it.
Yeah, we didn't even know he was here.
Care. Yeah.
He's a funny dude, man, and he talks about it, he jokes about it, and, it's obvious, so he mentions it.
I mean, you got to own it, I think. But I mean, it's a weird... I don't like that rule of comedy. I had a joke about it years ago. The idea that you would go, oh, you can joke about that because you are that thing.
I hate that.
I think it was quite a good bit. I had a bit about how political correctness in comedy this is how it works. If you're directly involved or affected by something, you get to talk about that thing. So, for example, if you're black or Asian, you can joke about race. If you're disabled, you can talk about disability. If you're homosexual, you can talk about being gay. Those are the rules. So, these two paedophiles walk into a park.
That's funny.
Just the ludicrous nature of going, yes, it's really kind of ghettoizing comedy. Just go, yes, you can talk about those things, but not these things.
But no one else can.
You shouldn't say it. People are going to think you're a pedo, though. If you do that show, people are going to think you're a pedophile.
I imagine. Well, I'm not.
I'm just giving you a literal.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Someone will write in and go, well, actually, I don't think it's funny to joke about that.
Absolutely not. There are people, they have a hard time. They have to, gas up the van, sneak off those tattletales.
The toughest thing about being a paedophile, it's very difficult to fit in.
Yeah, jokes.
Jokes on the radio.
Jokes, Mark. I love jokes.
Jokes. Well, that's all. I'm very old-fashioned in America. In England, not so much, but in America, it's very old-fashioned to get up on stage at the Comedy Cellar and just do jokes. Mm-hmm. Just do, I'll tell 15 minutes, right, I'll tell 45 jokes.
Wow.
And that's it. There's no, I've got to tell you about my life, there's a thing going on. No one cares.
Yeah, Jimmy's kind of a classic joke teller, and very good at it.
That's what
I'm not good at that. I cannot do what he does.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you do a one-liner, you kind of are disgusted with yourself. You kind of, if you happen across a brilliant piece of wordplay in a routine,
Sometimes, it depends on what I'm talking about, but I like to, I have my way of doing it, and I was put on the spot recently, and someone said, well, tell me a joke. It was during something I was shooting, a racist joke, and I literally could not think of one. Like a joke.
Definitely not true. Tell me a racist joke. I imagine your mind went into a Rolodex.
There was but it's funny. There was one Holocaust joke I thought of, but I wanted to do something that wasn't so vicious. Like the proof was that this guy, who was a white guy, wouldn't laugh at a racial joke at all. And I couldn't think of one other than this Holocaust joke. Like, it took a second, then I got one, but it's like, it didn't just come.
It's a really interesting thing. I sort of make that point at the end of the show, not to be all serious, but that idea that laughter it's very revealing. Because you don't choose what you laugh at. It's a reflex.
Yes.
Right. And you've got, there's my favourite noise is that thing when people laugh and then there's an intake of breath. Or then they kind of get offended. Or a hand goes up to their mouth and it's like the physical embodiment of their conscience. So they laugh because that's who they are, and then their kind of social being goes, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
Sure.
I don't laugh at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you can't help it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point.
That's why they moan. Oh, because they just want to let people know they object. Yeah.
Why is it that most comics aren't really telling one-liner jokes over and over? It really has changed. But there was a time back in the day most comics were doing just that.
I think probably because of the influence of people like
Carlin, Pryor,
Carlin, Pryor, Eddie Murphy, people talking about their lives.
Right.
That was where the glamour was. That's where it was, and that sort of language of, I think stand-up comedy, a bit like jazz, is a very American medium.
Yeah.
And those guys were so good and so influential. And then, less so, I guess, Stephen Wrights and Emo Phillips, the people that I would really kind of, oh wow, that's amazing joke writers.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were too. They've been great joke writers.
Well, I suppose it's that thing as well where you're on stage, and if you're a little bit nervous on stage, it's just easier to go from joke to joke. There's no kind of, will they be interested in this?
Do you know how many jokes are in funny business? Because after I saw your special on Netflix, and I loved it, I want to say it again, I told Jimmy, I'm like, I can't believe how many jokes were in this special.
Maybe 170, something like that. It's only
170 jokes.
Something like that, like lines, yeah. I think I know from the edit. 150 or 170, it's around there.
Can you imagine? And it was a little over an hour, that was it. And it totally worked.
Yeah, I've never done that many jokes. I've done 4-hour specials, and he's done 9. Not one special had that many jokes in it. I stretch a lot by going, a lot of crazy shit happening. Pause.
What else is going on?
I'd love to see an edit of just that.
Yeah.
Someone did that once with Elvis. Someone did an album of Elvis just talking in between songs.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was quite a weird kind of curio of that. I think it was like the Elvis people just going, I mean, we could sell all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And he would bomb too. Elvis would do jokes. His jokes were so fucking awful that they would bomb in front of his own audience. And these were women who literally were throwing their underwear at him, and he would do some jokes and they're like, even his own crowd couldn't pretend to enjoy his fucking shit jokes.
Having fun with Elvis on stage. I think that's the name of the album.
I mean, that's a tough listen, I would say.
Let's listen to this for a second.
Yeah, man. It's like my horse just left.
Terrible laugh.
Come on, you can do it. Come on. Mm-hmm. That's it. It just tapers off to nothing. Mm-hmm. Before the evening is over, I will have made a complete, total fool of myself. I hope you get a kick out of watching it.
Now, wow. 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 Wow.
One of my first records that I made.
It's funny, he wants to just do some jokes, and he's just bombing.
Back in 1927, I think it was.
I mean, if you can't get laughs in that costume as well, he's wearing a white jumpsuit.
Yeah, with a cape. If you're wearing a cape in front of women that want to fuck you and they won't laugh at your jokes stink.
Has his stylist from the 70s ever been brought to justice?
It worked for him for some reason.
It did. It really did.
The fat man in a fucking tight outfit that was balls to it.
I never heard of this album before. It's called Having Fun with Elvis on Stage.
Any idea? I don't want to do that.
Oh, thank God. It was so nice to hear music for a second.
Imagine if you've got a voice like that. I mean, just the greatest rock and roll voice, and you go, yeah, but I'll just chat to him.
Yeah.
Right.
He was breathing heavy, too.
Oh, he's probably fat there.
He wasn't even that old when he died. Unbelievable.
42.
That was
and
it.
Big and fat.
Was he 42?
Yeah.
That's
I
all
had
it
a
was.
friend that did a whole show about, he was in a hotel room watching a documentary about Elvis doing a show, and he realised he was a year older than Elvis.
Right.
And just kind of going, oh, no.
Oh, nerds.
Oh, no.
Oh, nerds.
But I felt that when I turned 34. I felt like, I beat Jesus.
Yeah.
Cool.
Getting past the 33.
How you doing, Jesus?
What's up?
Yeah, you didn't make it. Okay.
No. You want to see the genital warts that we were looking at?
Come on. Yes, I do.
He wants to see it, though.
Yes, I do. It's. I imagine in Braille they say, stay away.
Stay away. And I think it might be from Embarrassing Bodies, because I recognize the doctor.
Okay, we're looking, Dr. Christian. He's a really fun guy, actually.
All right, it's, this is the vaginal surgery channel on YouTube.
What? What now?
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, but I have to go, because I've got stuff I need to...
Nothing's being done about it.
All right, you can fast
Christina,
forward,
hi,
right?
come on in.
Hi.
Come on.
All right, now she gets on the table.
There it is.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a thing. Oh.
There's the freeze frame for you.
Come on.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Okay.
Looks like a homeless guy's mouth.
All right, we got it. I'm going to make that my phone wallpaper.
Yeah, sure. That would make you pick up
That's
faster.
a showstopper.
Yeah. Wow. It is that thing where, I don't know.
We were surprised by that because we were looking at a guy getting genital warts frozen off his penis. And then that video ended and it popped right to that one.
It's funny. The dwarf joke is bad, but that's okay.
Yeah, my favorite thing on the show is always the dignified nature of the doctors.
Yeah.
Just the idea that they look at stuff, and I mean, we're comedians and we have kind of we take things very lightly, but the idea they look at stuff all day every day and go, oh, that's a little bit whiffy. Yeah, and everything goes up 2 octaves. Oh, yeah, we're just going to have a little, it's a bit gamey. I can smell that in my eyes. Yeah, we're going to try and help you with that. Whereas any right-thinking person would just go, yeah, throw yourself off something.
Exactly.
Yeah, here's a gun.
Have you considered dying of shame?
It's look, another gal with giant boobs. What's her problem?
They hurt.
To support them.
Okay, so
wow.
That's
a lot of milk.
Enormous bosoms, does it, quite frankly? Do you get a lot of pain here? Do you get pains?
I do get pains around about here a lot.
Is there no American equivalent of this show?
No, we need this immediately.
But it feels like someone like, I don't know, Netflix or one of the onlines that don't have rules. This show could show anything.
Yeah, this show should be on in America, without a doubt. And the doctor's just so casual. He gets to see giant boobs.
But that's the doctor's job. I mean, just all day, every day. Or every dinner party they've ever been to, they get to see something weird.
Yeah.
Someone's constantly going, take a look at this.
But my thought is, no matter, even if you're a doctor, you're turned down a little bit by seeing
Not
that.
by that, though.
You push it down a bit because you got to be professional.
Uh-huh.
No?
Not this. These are obscene.
What? Sorry, you're saying that the vagina that looked like a homeless man's mouth. Your words, not mine.
No, that was the asshole.
You got to be a little bit turned on. You got to be a little bit turned on.
You got to pick and choose which ones turn you on, Jimmy.
I like how you make him Sam Elliott as well.
Yeah.
And you travel the world. You only take 5 weeks a year off?
I don't think I take that much off.
You just
I travel the whole time. It's a pretty easy job, though. I mean, like, I always think this whenever you do interviews, you can't, that great, I think Jack Nicholson said it, never complain, never explain.
Yeah.
But it's a good adage for show business because you kind of go, I've had a really tough day. I worked like for 20 minutes last night.
I understand all that. I have a reason for asking that, though.
Oh, go on.
I mean, because you obviously love what you do and you get to see the world, but where's your home? And you rarely see it.
Yeah, I've only had like 4 days at home this year so far.
So you just lock up
Well, I did like Australia for like 6 weeks in January, and then I've got back and did Germany, Iceland, just got back from Austria. I did gigs in Germany.
Does your wife come with you?
Yeah, for some of them, like for Australia, she'll come with me if it's nice, and she was here last week, but like for some of them,
So you could go almost a year without seeing your house.
You could go a long time kind of when you're on the road, but then when you come home, it's really fun when you get home, and it's fun going and doing gigs. I mean, going and doing gigs in Iceland, it was like doing a show north of the wall in Game of Thrones. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
I keep on encouraging Jim to go and do the European ones.
Well,
I would love you.
I'm talking to my my agent about going to Australia, and I talked to him yesterday about it. We're trying to hook something. He said maybe in September. I don't know if I want to go in as a festival, but I really do.
They've
and
got
Bill
that Just
Burr
for
got my
Laughs,
ear
that
about
great
it.
Just for Laughs thing in September where they just put on a great show, and it's almost like people promote their tour for the next year by everyone goes into Sydney and just does a show at the Opera House. It's just
together or their own shows.
Like they'll do like maybe you'll do like 10 minutes on a gang show and then your own show the next night kind of thing.
Yeah,
but they fly over there. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I'd rather kind of go up and do my own show. I don't even know if I want to be part of a festival. It just helps with travel. Like, I just want to go and do shows, and
Might
if people
be a good
come,
start.
they come.
Maybe that's a good start for Australia, just to kind of feel it out.
I don't even need to make money. I just want to break even. I don't need to come home with a lot of money.
And just see what's going on.
Yeah, just want to.
So your wife just hits the road with you every once in a while?
Yeah,
or?
she comes with and hangs out. I mean, it's really fun. It's fun. It's a fun way to travel as well, because you get to... I find if she comes with, I'll go and do the touristy nonsense. I'll go and... Okay, let's go around, look around Vienna. If I'm on my own, there is a tendency just to go... Well, I've got some DVDs to get through.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got some old episodes of Embarrassing Bodies that I was on. Yeah. Why not?
I don't understand that, but I guess after a while, you're just done with these cities and you just want to mellow out in your hotel room. Like,
well, once you've done
I would love to see the country, and when I hear about you guys traveling every weekend and just staying in your hotel room, it drives me nuts. I'm like, I don't know, how do you do that?
Second time in Cleveland, you're not going to go back to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You're just there and for the gig and then get out.
And a lot of times you go in like I'll travel the night of or whatever, or the night after the show, I'll drive to the next one, sleep during the day.
Yeah.
Wake up, go to the gym, eat, and then you got to get, by then it's 5 o'clock.
Jimmy's no fun to be with on the road for one reason. One reason. Like, it's wake up calls 4 a.m. 4 a.m. to get to the airport.
Yeah.
So you don't want to stay out because you're like, you need to get a few hours sleep before Kenny wakes everyone up at 4 because he likes first flight out.
First flight out, get home so I can nap during the day. Because people who get stuck at the airport are typically people who will leave at 12:30 or 1 in the afternoon. The flight's already backed up if there's a problem. I just want to get the fuck out. Once I'm done with the gig, I want to go.
I hate it until we're home and it's 9 in the morning.
Exactly.
But then you're too tired to actually enjoy the day.
Yeah, but you're home.
I'm really with you. Yeah, getting back early.
Yes.
Although in Great Britain, if I spend a lot of my time touring around England, and you can always get home. Like at most, it's like a 4-hour drive, so you can always get back. I'd rather get home at 3 in the morning,
right?
Ditto.
And just your own space.
Yeah.
You broke the news of David Bowie's death during one of your shows.
Oh, God, I was awful. Yeah, I was in. I was in New Zealand. Who's the real victim here? It was a good show. It was a really fun show in New Zealand. I was having a great time in Auckland, and in the interval, kind of walked off, and my tour manager kind of looked a bit. Have you seen the news? No, I haven't seen the news. I've been telling jokes for an hour, and then I knew everyone would be looking on their phone. Like 80% of the audience would. It's like a weird. It was,
What is your? This is what I wanted to ask. What you have an intermission during your own show?
Yeah, so I'll do. Typically, I would do an hour. And then I would do 20 minutes and then another hour.
Jeez. A 20-minute break?
Yeah.
So
and then you do 2 hours a night?
Mm.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of jokes.
Especially with slightly different... I think that in the UK, there's a real thing with when people have paid that money for a show, they want the evening.
Right.
That's
Gotcha.
their thing.
So how did you come back from the David Bowie news and get him laughing? Because that's a huge distraction.
No, it was fine. There was nothing really... the only thing I said, which not really a joke, just an observation, we all got a little bit cooler.
Right.
He was the coolest guy in the world, died, so we all go one up the list.
Right.
That's something, right? That's a positive spin.
There you go.
How awful is it if it's a shit crowd, then you got to take an intermission and come back out for an hour with the crowd, you're like, ugh.
That's fine. I mean, if they're...
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't get over that.
They're always fine.
Yeah.
And they warm up a bit in the second half. There's like,
Oof. 2 hours a night.
And are you just pulling
that's
jokes
amazing.
out of your, Rolodex in your head?
There'd be a sequence for that tour of so 80% of it or 70% of it, 80% of it would be I know what jokes I'm going to tell in that sort of order. That's in the first half. That's in the second half. So the callbacks are in the right place.
Right.
And then 20% of it is hopefully crowd work and just messing around.
Uh-huh.
So obviously, you can really see my little face light up when I chat to someone in the audience go, I haven't spoken to anyone yet today.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
It is fun.
Friends.
Thank God.
Human contact.
It's the worst possible thing. If you see a comic and you go, that's the first conversation they've had today.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you ever stuck behind someone in checking out of a hotel and they're being really chatty with a person, that's a comedian on the road, just going, I need human interaction.
I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah. Why is he chatting to the driver of the metro?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours a night. I can't fucking.
Pretty amazing.
I cannot get over that with a break.
Yeah.
I do an hour 10. Done.
And he's not doing long.
What should I do? So I've got gigs here next week.
Do what you do. That's amazing. People probably feel like they get a great show.
But I think that thing I might cut it down for America because I think it might be
that is long.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think with me we realize
Boston and. But once people realize they've made a mistake, they want to get out of there fast. That's the
exactly. With me, I think that the audience and I realize we've come to a point where we've had enough of each other, and it's just time to go our separate ways.
To move on.
We get it. You're perverted.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we know your chest has been used as a toilet. God bless. Drive safe. Get home. I can't imagine going back on.
You ever done that at the end of the show? Just the key messages, what you've got across in your show. Here are the take-home points. Like it was a seminar. Like it was okay. We've had a great 3 days in Cabo. We've had a lot of fun. But here's the main messages we've learned about whatever the company is.
Right.
I wonder what are the take-home points from your hour-long special.
If you're considering suicide, do it. That's the main point.
Here's a PowerPoint on how to smell piss-soaked panties.
Yeah.
We have a guy that knows why Elvis did that album.
Why Elvis did that album?
I think he needed some money, believe it or not. According to, let me just go to Joe.
Was he like Michael Jackson? Was he worth more dead than alive? That crazy?
Oh, he never stopped making money. His estate had made just so much money after he died.
Someone was telling me about this recently. We were chatting about it, about who owns the rights to dead people.
Right.
And it's mainly Bill Gates has got a company that owns.
Really?
You know when you buy a poster of Betty Page or James Dean,
sure,
or a cigarette lighter or a. He's got the company that buys the rights from the family and then exploits them, and the family get a bit, and he does the thing. It's kind of interesting because you can forward sell your rights.
Amazing.
If you're a big enough deal. So I knew a guy that was trying to forward,
Right.
Interesting.
Just take the money while he's alive.
Yeah, you want to take the money while you're alive, right?
Joe in North Carolina, go ahead.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Good.
Hi, Joe.
And find out how much money Elvis made last year being dead. Go ahead, Joe.
I have no idea how much Elvis.
No. It was for one of my guys.
Yeah, Paul.
That's a great thing though for a caller, giving them homework.
Yeah,
go and do some work. Come get back to us.
Well, we all got to Google, and right now I'm sure someone will hit me up with that on Twitter how much he made. But anyway, go ahead, Joe.
His rights to his songs were owned by one of the record companies that I guess he worked with, and he wanted to make an album that he owned all the royalties to. So he decided to just put out an album with no songs, so that he could take all of the record sales from it, and that's pretty much why he put it out.
Well, that's pretty smart on his part.
What a shit album. To buy that, though, and just hear him fucking rambling in a pill-induced stupor, that must have been fucking enraging.
I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna listen to the whole thing after the show today. Now,
Really?
out of curiosity, I got to hear it. It's like 38 minutes long. Thank you, Joe. And now we got the 13 top-earning dead celebrities of 2015.
I think it's quite an unusual list, isn't it?
I think Elvis is pretty close to the top every year.
Will the Beatles be considered because of two of them being dead, or no?
I don't know.
I don't think they are. No, I think they're.
Here's the quick list. So Michael Jackson, dead last year, made $115 million.
I just watched that Spike Lee documentary on him. You know, they re-released Off the Wall or something, and if you bought the big album, they did a documentary. It's a remarkable piece of work.
I didn't see that yet.
It's him going. It's on like iTunes or whatever. But it's him going from Motown to Off the Wall.
Right.
So, and doing that movie, The Wiz, which I always thought was just a little, he did a thing.
Yeah.
Massive part of his life, because he was in New York, going to Studio 54 every night, having fun.
Right.
And that was him growing up.
Yeah.
Suddenly he was away from his family and on his own in New York. it's really interesting to sort of see it.
Yeah, Travis just told me it's on Showtime. Now I got to check that out as well.
Yeah,
You ever hear Billie Jean?
It's a hell of a track.
So Michael Jackson is way ahead in first place, 115 million. Last year he made Dead. Elvis is second at 55 million.
Big drop.
55 million. I mean, he's dead. That's more money than I make in a week.
Amazing. Charles Schultz, the Peanuts guy, 40 million. He's in third place last year. Bob Marley.
That's
21
encouraging.
million.
Seeing Bob Marley making 20 million dead is encouraging.
Bob Marley. What's the interesting fact about Bob Marley? He didn't record a song for the last, is it like 4 or 5 years of his life?
I think so.
It's a really weird thing where he kind of came out just every incredible record after incredible record, and then was just touring around and hadn't really done anything in a while when he...
And that was it for Bob Marley, his short life. Elizabeth Taylor, 20 million, fifth place.
What?
Dumb sense.
Perfume or jewelry?
It's going to be perfect.
White Diamonds, her scent.
There you go.
Which launched in 24 years ago and continues to sell well.
I never quite got it with her.
Are you thinking of releasing a scent?
I certainly am.
Yeah. Is it going to be called Pull My Finger? the Jim Norton smell.
What would your...
Blame the dog.
What would your smell be? A little sandalwood, a little lavender. What do you got going on?
Yeah, lavender, a little
lavender.
urine.
A little urine mixed in.
I think I could call mine car fumes.
Hey.
I think yours would be Japanese teenagers' panties, wouldn't it? Surely.
No, I don't like the Japanese culture sexually. It's too weird.
Oh, what?
I know. It's
if you're listening in Japan, please get in touch with your lawyers.
It's too weird.
It is a little strange.
Weird.
We could show you a video in a minute if
it's
you
just
want.
too bondage oriented and too repressed. I'm a dirtbag, but I don't like repression, or I don't like tying a girl up and tickling her twat while she's dozing off. It's like all this weird stuff they're into.
Sounds great.
I don't
Tentacles.
get it. Yeah, tentacles.
But I can't do radio whilst I masturbate. What? Sorry?
Their cartoons are awful.
I finally learned why they have tentacles in all their porns, though, because they're not allowed to show the penis. So they figured out a workaround. Like,
someone told me that was the social history of kind of that kind of the idiom of sex, the idea that you would the no pubic hair. Where did that come from? And someone told me it was pornography in Britain in the 1930s or 40s or whatever, and they banned pubic hair. So you cannot show pubic hair in pornography, and they thought, that's it. These pornographers, that'll show them. And they just went, we'll shave that.
Then shaved it off.
Not
and that was
bother.
it. They got around it.
And then that fad definitely died, and it was hairy again. And then in the 80s, they started shaving their pussies.
But never in pornography. I think it was a fairly constant sort of thing, where it was banned, so they had...
Pretty smart.
Maybe over there, yeah, but here they had fucking really hairy pussies until like the mid-80s, early 80s.
Yeah. I think we pushed the 90s with that.
Maybe.
They started then trimming it down into shapes.
That's right, landing strip.
That was the first stage of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And now...
They start shaving their thighs, at least.
Ugh.
Cutting it down. Let's go back to our list real fast.
I think the list... I think it's like there's a weird one like Betty Page for all the,
Yeah, probably. Let's, we got to go through freaking ads. Who cares about your dumb site?
No, the ad blocker won't let us go.
Oh, the ad blocker? All right.
We've got an ad blocker.
My God. Boy. We can't get back to where we were.
Well,
that's probably another list.
You were religious when you grew up?
Yeah, Catholic.
But only Catholic or religious Catholic?
Like, not super religious Catholic, but super like Christian. Actually had an imaginary friend that lived in the sky and could grant me wishes.
Okay, you were that.
Yeah, properly crazy.
When did you change?
I was about 26. It kind of fell off like slowly, but like properly like late of kind of going. And it's weird. It's the same sensation. Have you ever seen Close Up Magic?
Oh yeah.
And so you see Close Up Magic, and then I'm
amazed by that.
If you know
the sleight of hand,
if you know the magician, though, you go, "How'd you do that?" And he goes, "Yeah, what you do?
Yeah,
that." And you go, "Oh, I'm an idiot." I feel that way about religion. I feel like I can't believe what was I thinking? It feels like it's the memory of a different person.
Right. What was the one thing you believed and you're almost embarrassed to say as far as the religion goes?
Heaven.
I think that kind of heaven, hell. I suppose the upside of losing one's faith, which is like, it's a thing no one really talks about because you're kind of embarrassed afterwards. But once you lose your faith, you lose the heaven thing, which is a downside because everyone that dies, you just think, well, they just died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's okay, but they just died. But the hell thing is gone too. So you have there's no downside.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Yeah. It's a good way to look at that.
Yeah, there's no devil either. You lose that too.
Right.
And a big part of Catholicism is a belief in kind of a weird, spooky devil, which isn't mentioned anywhere, but is kind of in that canon law area.
Just always around.
Just a weird, made-up thing. It's not really.
Yeah. Was your humor dirty growing up? Because I'm always fascinated by people that are kind of like leave a religious background or leave like religious thinking, sometimes they turn quite dirty.
No, my mother used to was incredibly funny and used to swear a lot. And that was a big influence of you'd walk into a room and people would be interested in what she had to say and what was going on with her because she was just kind of a big personality and very fun.
Do your parents, do they like what you do?
Dead and gone.
Oh,
yeah.
Before you did comedy?
I think my mother overlapped maybe 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And then I haven't seen my father in 15 years.
All right.
He's living, though.
I was ready to ask I was ready to ask the stupid question because you said dead and gone, so I'm like, wait, there is a difference there. So your dad's been just gone.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
He's on the list.
No, just gone. It's one of those,
When was the last time you saw him? Or had a relationship with the guy?
Maybe 15 years ago, something like that.
All right, so you were doing comedy.
No, I maybe just started.
Okay.
Just started doing comedy.
You started in 2000, I believe.
Yeah.
Did you have a good relationship with him growing up?
Yeah, not terrible. Not terrible. I mean, not a great, I don't know. It's a slightly weird one. You kind of, the disconnect with going, I was trying to think about it as separate people of kind of going, look, he was fine then and he's kind of not now. And that's okay.
Did they get divorced or something?
No, she died and then it all just turned. They were already kind of split up.
Oh. Wow, he's got a really famous son out there. I wonder if he gives a shit. You don't care.
Well, I mean, it seems really callous to go, yeah, I don't care. But I think it's that thing I don't know what your relationships are like with your parents. I think when my mother died, you look for someone else, you look for several other people to be that kind of mother role model in your life.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that entirely and be out there in the wind. So if your father goes or dies or whatever, you don't suddenly go, oh, well, I don't have a male role model. You just pick 4 or 5 other people and you kind of think, oh, well, that's the person I'll call if I need a bit of advice or if I'm worried about something, a finance thing, that's the guy I'll go to. And you I think those archetypes and role models you still have in your life.
Yeah.
And if you can be you have to be a bit more proactive about finding them. But
do you miss them?
I miss, I don't really have kind of family in that way. It's kind of be a nice thing. Sometimes I don't really miss it, but you don't miss what you haven't had. But sometimes when people talk about, oh, we're all going, for Christmas together, there's a big family thing. So I kind of go, oh, right, this sounds all right. Doesn't sound terrible.
Do you still see your extended family or no?
A little bit, yeah, my kind of Irish relatives and stuff, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is this a sensitive topic?
No, not especially.
Really?
I mean, I think everyone
has something fucked up. Trust me.
As soon as you talk to anyone, there's an aunt we never see, or there's someone in jail, or there's something going on. Yeah. Everyone's got something, right?
Would you two fight a lot right before he left, or no? He just disappeared.
Yeah, just kind of went. Yeah, it was fairly ugly when he sort of went.
Wow, and
so you don't talk about that moment.
No, I mean, there's nothing really to say. It was just it got weird, and it got to be where that's not a good person to have in my life.
Gotcha.
And he's seen a special, I'm sure. It's so crazy to think of him watching you do comedy.
I've never really. I mean, he came. Last time I saw him, actually, he came to a show, and it was so weird. There's like a signing after the show. There's always like a weird, like signing things and saying hi and getting photos. People love the selfie. And then he was at the end of the thing, and didn't wait around, but just kind of looked at me.
Whoa!
And then it was so.
Wait, he never said hi.
No.
He was just at the show.
Yeah, just weird.
Damn.
Just chilling.
Wait, was it an uncomfortable look, or you think he just didn't know what to say to you?
I don't think he knew what to say. I think there's, a lot of times past. What are you gonna?
How many years ago was that?
15?
That was
recently.
That was like a year maybe.
What?
The show in Cambridge turned up, was there, and then just disappeared.
Wow, you talk about it so casually. That would blow my mind. Like all of a sudden he's just in the.
I don't know.
In the venue,
I don't know what
looking
you meant
at
to do
you.
with that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean.
Interesting.
Did you want him to come up and speak to you?
I mean, ultimately, I think everyone wants everything to be fine, right? You want every relationship, every...
God. Thank God he didn't heckle. Yeah. This is why I left.
Quite good.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
That's unbelievable.
It really is.
Yeah, every comic's got something. You dig hard enough, you'll find something.
Yeah, you don't have to dig very far.
I think a lot of... Someone had that theory about the, comedians, were they bullied at school? Did they try and make them... And they said it's someone that had a sick parent.
Yes.
And not necessarily physically sick, like depressed. Someone in your life that you needed to cheer up. I think that's really...
Interesting.
I think that's really at a key point in those years where you're thinking about what you want to do. Did you have that? Did you have a...
No, my parents were okay.
Pretty normal parents for Jim Norton.
Fairly, yeah. I mean...
imagine their disappointment.
Yeah. They were fairly normal. I mean, my weirdness comes from just outside behaviors, not them. I don't think
it comes from Monster Rain.
Yeah, all these outside things.
Some things that Jimmy was into as a very young lad.
Yeah. See, a big pattern is a super close mother, distant father. That's a big one, reoccurring.
Yeah, I could see that. I was very close to my mother. That's
almost overloving. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that thing of like, I don't know. I think making a grown-up laugh, the importance of that as a kid.
Yes.
And the idea, and the slight arrested development of being a comedian anyway. It does feel like it's quite it's tied into those kind of teenage years when your personality's first forming. When you that's who you are, you and your group of friends making each other laugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's that weird thing, we do it for a living, but everyone's got that, right? Everyone's got that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as a kid, I remember it was cool seeing funny adults, like watching SNL or like, Professor, what's his name? Peter Sellers and stuff like that. Seeing
Were you
funny
going to say
adults.
Erwin Corey?
No.
Professor? Oh, you said Professor. I
was thinking of Clouseau.
We're still alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird.
In his 90s,
My dad
I
was so
think.
serious, so seeing funny men was cool.
Anything that can make your parents laugh, I was impressed with.
Yes.
Like anybody because that was like holding power, and anybody that held power over your parents, you're like, what the fuck? Like, It was interesting to watch. Like when I watched Richard Pryor with my parents when I was like 12, I laughed at it, and they laughed at it.
They laughed at Richard Pryor.
Oh, they loved him. Yeah, of course. In 1980 or 79, I mean, he was the king. So watching that with your family and seeing them laugh at something was pretty.
My mom.
I suppose it's that it goes back to that point earlier about your laughter being it's very revealing. It's the real you,
right?
And you don't get to see your parents like that. You don't get to see them just
letting their guard down and just enjoying themselves.
Totally gone. They can't be. It's no swearing, no swearing. You can't use that language in the house. And then you watch Richard Pryor, and presumably it's funny though.
For my mom, it was Carol Burnett. She would laugh to the point where she'd start coughing, like just an over the top laugh. And it would just get to her, and then she would just start coughing. She wasn't a smoker or anything like that, but she would laugh that hard at Carol.
Wow.
It was
My mother had narcolepsy. So when she would laugh, but it wouldn't manifest with falling asleep. It would manifest when she laughed. She didn't make any noise at all and sort of stroked out. And like she would just like collapse with laugh. So if you made her laugh enough, she would fully collapse.
Wow. What?
I had a friend that had proper narcolepsy where if you made him laugh enough, he would just fall over. He'd lose muscular control. which is what a gift.
Yes.
Could we use him for a radio bit?
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's a radio bit waiting to happen.
But like she would just like, if you made her laugh, she would just kind of, and it would just be this weird. Sometimes you see it in audiences, like it really warms my heart. You see someone in an audience that has that kind of almost rocking motion when they start laughing, and they make no noise.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a whole audience of them, it would be a disaster.
How long would it last for your mom?
Until you stopped making a laugh. So
and then that would
get very uncomfortable. It's almost like kind of, the thing when you tickle someone and you go, this is fun up to a point.
Right.
Please stop.
Yeah, that becomes assault. It goes from like having fun and laughing to you're assaulting.
I was going to say, as a son, that had to be tormenting because you're killing, but it affected your mom in a weird way. You're like, man, but this stuff's working. I want to keep going with this.
And I'm holding back on a Cosby joke.
Right.
Just laughing, then she falls out.
Man, I find the dad thing fascinating, especially that he showed up and just kind of looked at you, didn't have contact, and then just left.
It's odd. I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You got no brothers or sisters?
I've got two brothers, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're good.
Are they in the business?
No. But they're all right.
What kind of jobs do they do?
Like a city... Something finance? I mean, I should ask. I should take an interest. We mainly just talk about me. Is that okay,
dude? It's so that to me is the worst part of family.
Yeah,
is I want to hear about them, but they want to talk about my work, and it's like I don't want to talk about. I'm bored with it. Like I'd rather hear what you guys are doing. But being a comic is the more interesting job, I guess. But I don't.
I can empathize with that. I think it's old school friends. I find is the worst when you see old friends and they just go. So what happened? What's he like? What happened there?
Yeah.
When you did that? How was that? And you go, how are you? And they go, same time.
Right.
It's kind of written off as...
And then you've changed. And they say how you've changed.
You've changed. Oh, but I have changed.
And you're proud of it.
I was always kind of a dick.
Right.
Are you connected to people you grew up with? I'm very rarely. Maybe a couple of friends.
I'm down to only a few. The older you get, they go away, I guess. I got just a few left.
You realize you weren't even that tight. It was like drinking buddies and went to the same school, but it was not really...
I really noticed a thing where you see someone that was like you thought you were very good friends with, and there's kind of, if you don't see them for a year and it's awkward, it's, okay, that was an acquaintance. And if it's just straight back, Like I've had people that I haven't seen in like 5 years and sort of seen them after a show or whatever and gone out, and it's felt like we continued the same conversation we had 5 years. Like it felt like a real, we just
completely with you.
Exactly on the same page. And then some people you meet and you go, oh no, this is, I feel like I'm being interviewed.
Right.
Yeah. It's like a weird...
My best friend moved to LA, and that's exactly it. I'll go 2 years without seeing him, and I get to go out to LA every once in a while, and I run into him. It's just like we never, stopped hanging out.
I think that's almost like like a definition of friendship.
Yeah. But that's rare, by the way. What you're describing is very rare.
Well,
but if you have one of those in your life, it's pretty cool.
I find it a lot with comics. There's a weird thing, like obviously in New York, it's the Comedy Cellar is the comedy club, and everyone goes there and sits around the table, and you bump into people just come up and you haven't seen them because you haven't worked here for, it could be a year, 2 years, and you kind of go, oh yeah, we get on, and then you're chatting about whatever you're chatting about, and then they disappear, and there's no long goodbyes or big hellos.
Right.
It's just, okay, that's sort of being a road comic. I think it makes you very good at sort of getting on with people.
Yeah, like if you talk, like I'll see Jimmy once in a while. We'll see each other in Montreal, and then I won't see him for 8 months, and he'll walk into the cellar, and it's surprising for 10 seconds, and it's like, oh, it's just Jimmy's back. Like you're like, oh, hey man, so what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to Europe for 4 years. All right, I'll see you when you get back. I mean, you're not, you're totally used to not seeing people for a long period of time, and then seeing them every night, and then not seeing them, and it's just the way it goes.
Let me ask you guys this one thing that has always bothered me about comics. You guys have a tough time being serious in social settings. What is that about? Is it because you guys are trying to one-up each other in a room?
I don't think we do.
Yeah, I think we're more serious sometimes.
I don't see it a lot, though. I see like where everything almost becomes a joke. And
I think it's uncomfortableness, maybe. You're trying to make a joke to kill that weirdness.
Right. You just don't want to go down that road.
Yeah, most times we talk at the cellar, we tease each other. It's the mic cord, this piece of shit. But we'll chat. I mean, at the cellar, most times we're not joking around. We're just sitting there yapping.
There's a lot of politics in the cellar.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, at the moment, it's that thing of like you sit down and go, Trump, and then that's it. You're done for an hour. You don't even have to interject. You can just go, Hillary Clinton, what do you reckon? Bang. It's off.
As an outsider, what do you think of all that? Outsider meaning just from another country, and is it...
The Trump thing is interesting because I've always been a big fan of America, so it'd be nice to see how it ends. I think that could be a line. Trump's really interesting. There's an article in The Economist. We should put this up on the screen. The Economist do a thing every year, a list of threats to the world. So then normally it's like in the environment, or actually often they'll put like an asteroid is on there at night, number 25, an asteroid hitting Earth. There is a high probability and whatever. And they did the list this year, and I'm pretty sure it's the Economist. And they did biggest threats to the world, and Trump beat ISIS, I think.
Wow. Really? That's hilarious.
Trying to find that list.
Put threats.
Yeah,
threats to the world.
Threats to the world.
Is it a different magazine? Was it not The Economist? I think it was The Economist.
The Economist is a conservative magazine, so I would be surprised, but you might be right.
They almost kind of they cut through a lot because it's just they're only interested in top 10 threat to the global economy.
All right, here we go. For the
economy. All right, an economic threat.
Is it the list?
Yeah, keep looking.
But the list is things like
you said, an asteroid or
Yeah, but I mean, it's a weird thing because it's a financial magazine, so they'll say an asteroid hitting Earth, and we'd go, oh, the end of humanity, and they go, yeah, stock prices will tank. This is awful news. Right. So it's quite a good place to get your news because they're not sort of giving you a commentary. They're just going, they follow the money.
Right.
It's very.
We got the list. Now we just got to find the. Click on maybe read full article. Probably would help.
I hate when they do this. They just don't give you the list.
Oh, come on. We just need the list.
Isn't it the Times that wants you to subscribe to finish the article?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go fuck yourselves.
Not in this day and age. You figure out how to make money, but I'm not fucking... No, stop.
I'll find it somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah. Get ads on your page.
Right. I feel that's the conversation the e-commerce people never wanted to hear. What, pay for it? No.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
I just won't do it online.
Right. I don't think that's when Bowie died. That was like the genius of Bowie. That he said in like 1990. I remember him doing an interview and saying, "Oh, music is going to be like turning on a tap in your house." It's a weird thing that's happened to music. It's become there's a generation of people that have never paid for music and never will.
No,
have no interest.
They can't even understand the concept.
Someone said
of
something
paying
really
for music.
chilling recently about music, like how it's changed and is it ruining it? And the idea of streaming. And they just music. It's now like a scented candle. You don't sort of go. You wouldn't listen to an album because there's a fast song then a slow song. You go, well, just put on something.
Yeah.
Put on the slow with the mood.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Who's singing? I don't care. Just
right.
Music. Bring me more music.
Put on Summer Breeze.
Yeah, it's like an Egyptian king. Yeah, bring me music.
Right. And porn's the same way. No one pays for porn.
It's very hard to make money in that business.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because it's free. All of it's free.
Someone told me a fact about porn that I found very interesting. Because there's a million different websites, and you go, wow, this is a huge industry.
Yeah.
Apparently there's 4. I think it might be mainly, like 90% is 3 companies that do all the content.
Vivid.
I don't think it's Vivid. I think
they might have a parent company.
There's a parent company that's like...
Oh, I see.
And it's called something like,
a bad parent company.
It's like
missing.
ORS or whatever.
Dirty Uncle.
They're all owned by the same thing.
Huh.
Crazy. Come on, are we going back to the list? Sorry, we've gone off topic.
Well, I mean...
sorry. Porn.
So China experiences a hard landing. Nice. Russia intervention in the Ukraine. Yeah, not good news. Currency volatility. Right. Interesting. Beset by external... EU collapses. Greece leaves the EU. Donald Trump's in 6th place.
That's 6 tie.
He beat... Oh, okay, tied. All right, neck and neck with jihadist terror.
Neck and neck with ISIS, basically, yeah.
Which you sort of think, I mean...
Well, for the economy.
Thing in Brussels, just...
sad.
But that's like, there's a massive problem in Europe with immigration from, and people, coming from Syria and Iraq. And you go, yeah, today's why. Those are the people they're running away from.
Right. Exactly. But how do we solve this thing?
I think we have to make where they're running from acceptable to live. It's the same things going on in America, right? The same things going on if you say, oh, we've got an immigration problem. No, they've got a real problem in South America with the drug trade.
Right.
Is what's happening. And people have to leave there to have a better life.
Right.
You need to make that place livable if you're going to solve the problem. It's people are dealing with the symptom. Immigration's the symptom, not the problem. Sometimes comedians can be serious.
But then again, it's a very good point. We tried that in Iraq, and it's like, if we intervene, people get mad at us. If we don't intervene, we're considered uncaring. It's like no matter what we do, people don't seem to be happy with it. Like with Mexico, we can't just go down there and fix it.
Yeah, I like your logic, but the first thing I was thinking was, but how do we actually do it and make it livable? Is it possible to go in and do that?
Yeah, because the populations hate our influence, and they hate the fact if we interfere.
Yeah,
it annoys them, and they think that we're, fucking colonized. It's like, and if we stay away, people are like, well, we have to help.
Mm-hmm.
How bad does it have to get before? I mean, it almost feels like we're being baited into a war. It feels like they're just saying things and doing just awful things until eventually we go, yeah, I guess they beheaded. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. We've got to go in now.
Right.
It feels like it would be very just now.
I watched some British hostage yesterday talking. He's making an ISIS video. Obviously, he's being forced to make this ISIS
the journalist
video.
guy, yeah.
Is he a journalist?
He's been kidnapped before as well. He's a photojournalist.
What do you mean before? So he got away and he got...
twice.
Wouldn't you say, all right, I've pushed my luck and move on to something else?
That's how I feel about this show. You're still going with it, man.
John,
why would you push your luck if you escape such a horrific situation?
I think he's scroll down. I think he got...
This is an ISIS video in Iraq.
Yeah.
He was captured. In 2012, he's appeared on several videos for the terror group. He ridicules American efforts to destroy ISIS. Now, is he really, he's in Mosul in Iraq, is he really a hostage, or do you think that he's almost purposely doing propaganda? Or has he been captured and he's just really knows how to talk?
I don't think for a second he's with them. I think he's...
No, not with them, but does he kind of know he's not going to be killed because he does the videos the way they want him to do the videos? Meaning, why would you go back into that if you were kidnapped twice?
I think it's that's what he feels his job is. I mean, there is a problem with journalists that aren't going into... I mean, there's a real problem with our government have got a problem with people going in and saying, yeah, I'm a photojournalist, I'm going to Syria.
Right.
And you go, it's almost as big a problem as the jihadist fighters going over there, because they go, right, well, if you get kidnapped, we've sort of got to get you out. And
yeah,
right.
I mean, I don't know what difference your pictures are making.
Right.
We've got people,
Exactly. It says after being kidnapped in Syria in 2012, he escaped with help from the Free Syrian Army, but was caught again when he returned to the country late that year.
Jeez.
Wow.
I watched a lot of the video he made. It was where he's standing there talking about it. And again, I'm sure he's being forced to make it, but he seems very, very comfortable making it. And it's almost like, is he in a place where he knows that they won't kill him?
Someone told me a really chilling fact about, I don't know if this is too gross for...
Let's go.
Wow,
okay, let's go, Jimmy. Jimmy Carr.
So someone told me a thing about when people, if you've ever seen ISIS video, I've never watched one, but I know what goes on. So people get beheaded in them, and they walk out to get beheaded like they're Hindu cows. I mean, they walk out there, and they're chilled.
So calm.
They look really, really calm. And the reason for that is that they've been walked out to be beheaded every day for the last 100 days.
Oh, wow.
So every day they walk them out, and then it doesn't happen, 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 and then so that's why. So the first day, I'm sure they go nuts.
Yeah.
But then it's a repetition thing.
You ever hear this, Jimmy?
I've never heard that before.
I believe that completely.
It's really chilling.
Because when you do see those videos, like, why aren't you freaking out and losing your mind? And then you look and you think to yourself, they don't look drugged or anything.
Yeah, it's hell on earth.
Wow.
Yeah, I read an interview with someone who knew that Jihad Johnny guy, whatever his name is the British guy.
Yeah,
who and they said he was a real motherfucker. Like, while you were in the cell, he would talk to you about how much beheadings hurt, and he was like a real taunter. Like, he enjoyed that.
I mean,
Jesus.
If it had been you or I think we would have been able to come back with the beheadings. Do they? I'm not sure. I'm not sure the hurt is really the problem.
Well, I've cut myself shaving, John, and it couldn't be any worse than that. I would have tried to win him over with my humor.
You think that would work?
No, I don't.
No, not at all.
I would have bombed miserably.
Man.
But he was a real prick.
Yeah.
Can you go? So that feels like the. Do people come to this show for insight? Because the guy doing the beheadings in Syria, Jim Norton says the guy was kind of a dick.
Well, that is a fair point.
I don't know if you're. I don't know. Do Fox News not need you now?
I didn't. I will say this: I didn't bring much to the table.
Yeah.
In way of international news, but he was like a crueler than just. He really enjoyed what he was doing. He enjoyed taunting them and telling them what was going to happen, and just a real cocksucker.
How was that guy brought up?
I don't know. Probably well.
You think he was just brought up well, and
absolutely.
then something just snapped in his brain that he could handle that?
British guy.
Probably normal parents.
And just could handle cutting heads off.
Yeah, just some weird.
Oh, there he is.
Fucking radicalized guy.
They got him though, right?
He's dead.
He's no longer with us.
Yeah, rest in peace.
With his Pittsburgh Pirates hat.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
See a jihadist with a Pittsburgh Pirates hat?
Right. He looks just like an Uber driver.
A Willie Stargell fan, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know.
I don't know how the conversation got so sad.
Yeah.
Well,
oh boy.
I don't know. I found
was it Pittsburgh? Are they not doing well? Is that the...
It's funny.
I don't really follow sports.
No,
it feels like that's where we got the downer. Someone mentioned Pittsburgh and everyone, great team.
The beheadings we didn't mind talking about, but as soon as the Pirates came up, the fucking air went out of the room.
I just feel bad for Pittsburgh. Oh boy, it's been a long run for you guys.
In all honesty, I've had to piss probably for the last 20 minutes. I have to piss desperately.
All right, why don't we pay? Jimmy, you want to stick around?
We wrap up in like 12
15 minutes.
I got no place else to go.
First time on our show, Jimmy Carr. I'm liking this conversation. Funny Business, new special now on Netflix. Like I said, I saw it. I loved it. It was really, really good. And I think you got some local dates. You're playing Boston.
Yeah, I'm in Boston, and then I'm in the Gramercy. I'm doing shows in the Gramercy.
Friday and Saturday here in New York. Thursday is Boston. April 20th and 26th is Largo in L.A. And
no one goes out in LA. That'll just be me on my own in Largo. If you want to come down and have wings, getting an audience out in Los Angeles just isn't feasible.
It's hard for me to get to do well there.
San Francisco people will come, right?
Yeah, San Francisco is great. Cobb's Comedy Club, the 24th and 25th.
You'll do fine there.
And then Moon. Oh, yeah, we're going to be down at Moon Tower.
Hey,
we're all going to Moon Tower.
You're going to Moon Tower.
Jimmy's performing.
I got one show there. They're going to be there a day before.
We're going to do 2 radio shows from there. Yeah, hitting the road. So we'd love to have you come by and just hang out.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
If you're there at the same time, yeah.
We're going to wrap up with Jimmy Carr and Mark Norman next.
I got to piss.
We're back to wrap up. We probably should have ended when we said we're going to break.
No, well,
now we're back for like 5 minutes. I mean, we could do like the top dead celebrity list. We could finish that up before we get out of here. I was telling Jimmy Carr we probably should have just ended the show right before the break. It's kind of silly to come back for just a couple minutes.
Yeah, we're done.
And it gave us some great stuff, and now what?
Geez, I guess you can do your act.
Yeah, sure. I'll do 4 minutes.
We can just say our goodbyes. I mean, we don't have to.
I do have one other thing, and it's very quick, actually. So when I tweeted that I liked your special and all, and then you get the tweets from people that are fans of yours, and one guy goes, "You got to check out Jimmy Carr's most offensive joke," and I wasn't sure if I got it. No, I understand the joke, but I wasn't sure if it was the most offensive Jimmy Carr joke.
Well, there's a weird thing where I suppose there's a whole bit at the end of the show where I talk about this and how I talk about how you judge offensive jokes.
Yeah.
And do you judge it by what's the worst thing you could make a joke about? That seems a very sensible thing. Mm-hmm. So the worst joke is always going to be a joke about the Holocaust. That's the worst thing that's happened in human history. Industrialized killing of Jewish people by the Nazis. That's the worst thing. So any joke about that is the worst joke. But I don't think you can judge it by that. I think you judge it by response. So actually the most offensive joke is Charlie Hebdo in France last year.
Well, it's newer.
But that's the most offensive because that caused people to get... They just did a joke and then they got shot.
Oh, I see.
So in terms of what the offence that was caused, it was the Danish guy before was the most offensive thing because the cartoonist for the Swedish cartoonist got shot.
Okay. So
it's quite funny, the same audience twice though.
Yeah.
You may see a problem with the audience.
Right.
So it's not this that I played on the show, which I'm going to now play again because it's quick.
I don't know which joke it is. Go on.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I didn't care for this.
It's quick, so we'll just play it.
How do you make a gay fuck a woman? Shit in her cunt.
It's great joke, but not offensive, really.
It's just like
it's labeled Jimmy Carr's most offensive joke, though.
It's like
it's mislabeled.
How do you, we can say stuff?
Yeah, I should have told you.
I do love after this joke. Play this for a second. Your response after this is very funny.
I know. Don't think I don't know, because I know. I know.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
And you like that little headset? Like the little... that's
Madonna?
Yeah, I guess that's an easier way to perform, right?
Yeah, it kind of feels like your hands are free. You don't have to hold the mic. It feels less...
Eddie Izzard does that, too.
Yeah, I think everyone in the UK that's doing theatre shows uses one of those. It's a really good sound quality and just a bit easier.
Is it a better sound?
Yeah.
I'm going to try one of those.
Doesn't the mic give you some kind of security, though, in a weird way?
No, I don't. Sometimes I get bored. I stand with it. I've never done it without a mic at all. But I find it's a little... I think it might be fun to do one of those.
I think it's a bit distracting as well when you're watching a special. Like, I know I have someone with a mic there.
Yeah.
But you just put your hands kind of in front of you, gently.
There's always something going on, yeah.
Yeah.
But those headsets, when I see them, I always think the person has a horrible mole on the side of the face.
On late night, they'll give you the option of mic or lapel.
I've gone without mic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just looks weird to hold a mic on late night TV.
Yeah. See, I kind of like it. I don't know. Even though it's a dead stick, it doesn't do anything.
That's a terrifying thing. I did that last week. 4.5 minutes of jokes.
Yeah.
On the Tonight Show. It's just terrifying.
I heard you destroyed, though.
It was good. I mean, it suits my thing of like doing. That's very nice that someone said. But
everyone said that.
I
gotta watch. I missed that.
Yeah, no, everyone was saying
you're not going to go watch it. Stop it.
I will. I watch worse comedy all the time.
I'm not going to go looking for Fallon.
I really will. I catch every late night.
Do you really?
Yeah, I love I just love that little piece of material chunk.
Well, it's a weird
gone.
thing.
It's like a tightrope walk. It's great.
Well, it's also that thing of like you go. It's probably a 2-hour show. Those are the 4 minutes of decent clean.
Yes,
jokes.
and that's what
all
they
I got.
picked.
Right. You know what we could do? We could just play it off YouTube to end the show. Give it another play for the people.
Boy, the show has gone under.
Yeah,
we could do that.
That's reasonable. It's a very good pocket square. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
A very good what?
Pocket square.
Do you think?
A little handkerchief. It's good.
Yeah, Jimmy's a very well dressed
on the stage.
Yeah. And even off stage, he comes in the suit.
Yeah, I know. You're making us look like...
Well, I mean...
He's a professional.
Yeah, you're put together nicely. Jimmy's got a hoodie. I
think the one-liner...
I haven't ironed this shirt in 3 years.
Mowing the lawn later. One-liner comics are the most well-adjusted of the comics, I think.
Huh?
One-liner comics are the most well-adjaded to me.
I suppose if you're doing, observational comedy about your life, you have to rely on some crazy stuff happening.
Right.
I mean, if you get into a serious relationship with a decent woman, you're in all kinds of trouble, aren't you? You're going to run out of stuff pretty quick.
I have, yeah. I've there's been issues, but I don't know if they're well adjusted. They're the same as we are. They just deliver it differently. I think almost like when you look at a guy like Stephen Wright, who's very, again, brilliant. When joke boom, joke boom, joke. Like I would love to know more about what that makes that crazy fuck.
Yeah.
who he is. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
you're not even seeing it on stage, so you know that there's something underneath it, but you can't see it. And like with most of us, you can kind of see it a little bit creeping through because we talk about it.
Yeah.
But the guys that just do great joke after great joke and just kind of like, oh, there's got to be something.
My favourite quote about it is that, that quote about the comedians or what we have in common, like in a room of 300 people with one person facing the wrong way.
Right.
I think that's really quite poetic as kind of as comedians say, yeah, we could probably fit in if we wanted to, but we choose not to. It's a very kind of lone wolf thing.
Yeah.
But then it's a bunch of lone wolves together.
Right.
It's the weird kind of irony of like they kind of get on, but then they don't.
Sure.
They're off doing their own thing.
But then you got Jeselnik and Hedberg are so fun to watch too because they're one-liner guys who kind of let it out. They like Hedberg, you're like, well, this guy's fucked up.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo. And you don't really get like most one-liners are just kind of they give you the joke and you don't know anything about them.
Yeah, Jeselnik though, that smile, I think he comes across as really sweet. I mean, I know his material is really dark, but he comes across as really sweet because he's kind of smiling and he knows what he's doing.
Right.
And that whole kind of fake arrogance thing. Maybe it's real arrogance, but he's very good.
He's confident.
Big confidence. Huh?
Yes, he is.
Confident.
He's a nice guy, though.
Yeah. All right, we should get out of here. This was great. Jimmy Carr, the special, Funny Business, new special on Netflix. Go check that out now.
Yeah, Jimmy's a really, really great comic.
Yeah, good on the radio, too. Thanks for coming by, finally.
Go to see him in the Gramercy or in L.A. or in the Wilbur, which is a great place in Boston.
Yeah, if you're in Los Angeles, leave your house.
Yeah.
Leave your house. Just leave the house.
JimmyCarr.com for all the tour dates. Anything else you want to plug? You good?
No, I'm good, man. There's an absolute
And on
pleasure talking to
Netflix,
you.
by the way, on Netflix, check out the special.
It was really, really
I'm
good.
so happy my
Really
specials
good.
are off Netflix. I had 3,
Why?
and they went through just because all these people were seeing them.
Too much
really
exposure,
frustrating.
right?
Yeah, who needs that? I'm really happy Viacom sold everything to Hulu. God, I just step in shit one fucking Hulu. Not my choice. I mean, look, Hulu's
you're on Hulu.
Viacom.
I must get some dial-up and watch that.
I don't even hate Hulu. I just think that Netflix is bigger at this point.
Of
And
course
they
it is.
fucking.
Can you wrestle it back from Hulu? And get it back?
It's contractual stuff that is
it sucks.
nothing. And again, a lot of Viacom stuff is on
he
Hulu.
can, yeah, the Viacom.
I know.
They don't move a muscle before Jim Norton says.
They sold all their.
He's going to make a call. It's all going to be sorted.
You never know. They sold all their radio.
It makes me want to bite my fucking lips.
Yeah, well, check his dates on MySpace.
Hulu.
I'm on Bebo, if you need it.
All right, let's get out of here. Jimmy's hitting the road this weekend, Portland and Denver. JimNorton.com for all his dates. And Mark Norman, thank you, buddy.
MarkNormanComedy.com, and follow me on Twitter and check out my podcast.
At Mark Norm. All right, we're out of here. Thanks to Jimmy Carr
Absolute
once
pleasure.
again.
Thanks,
we'll see you
gents.
guys tomorrow.